the lead. He cuts back inside. He's going to watch out for a touchdown. Yes, on the point. Got it. And that is a touchdown, Rowlett. Back, he's headed towards the end zone. Touchdown.
It's state football playoff time at Williams Stadium as the Skyline Raiders take on the Sachse Mustangs. Hello, everyone. I'm Steve Reeves. I'm joined by my partner, Scott Powell. And Scott, I tell you what, we got a good game here tonight between these two teams. You know, Skyline coming in not quite as strong as they've been in the past. Sachse pretty strong. And I tell you what, this is a rematch from a couple years ago in the playoffs. Yeah, the last time Sachse was undefeated entering the playoffs was 2013. The last time they met Skyline in the area around. That's also the only time Sachse's ever won a playoff game, and it did not go well. Skyline won it 51-10. So I think Sachse, Red Barons may have used that as a little bit of motivation in practice this week to get back at the Raiders. They just don't play each other very often. Saw the opening kickoff there, and it went out of bounds. So a penalty, of course, on the first play, and the Skyline Raiders won the opening toss. They deferred to the second half, and of course the Mustangs elected to receive. Here's a look at head coach Red Barons of the Sachse Mustangs. The officials tonight, Steve, the referee is Rick Ford, Derwin King, the umpire, the head linesman is Jimmy Byram, the line judge Derek Smith, the back judge Howard Shearer.
On the kicking team.
And there's our referee,
5-yard
Rick Ford.
penalty, re-kick.
They're out of the Texas Association of Sports Officials. I don't know what chapter, maybe DFW chapter this early in the playoffs. When you look at this Skyline offense, because they're kicking off. I thought you just said they were receiving, Sachse receiving. Talking to Red Barons yesterday, he said the key to being successful against this team is eliminating the big play. Sachse's got a lot of speed, especially defensively, but Skyline always has a lot of speed, so you don't want to let them beat you deep. Keep everything in front of you on defense. And on offense, their linebackers make the majority of their tackles. Their defensive linemen set it up for their linebackers, so that's something to look for also. Kick going to come to number 23, Isaiah Humphreys. He's going to return it out across the 20 and then gets hit pretty hard at around the 23, and that's where the Mustangs will start. You see that speed already on the opening kickoff. Skyline usually covers kicks very well, a la Garland. Garland has always been good at special teams because teams with the most speed tend to be the best on coverage teams, punt coverage, kick coverage. And you will see that tonight for both of these teams. As you said, Scott, both of these teams with a lot of speed. And we're going to see the Mustang offense, of course, come out first. They are led by their junior quarterback, number 4, Jalen Maiden. And joining him in the backfield, number 5, Christian Cole. They'll use several receivers tonight. Got split backs in the backfield on this first play. Keelan Wilson joins him, and the handoff is going to go to number 5, Christian Cole. Up the middle for a gain of almost 5 yards. You'll see several wide receivers, of course, led by Nate Shelton tonight for the Mustangs as well. Well, I mentioned their linebackers make a lot of their tackles. Well, on the opening play, their right defensive end, Dorian Andrews, made the tackle, so they're active on the outside. Double wing look on second down. Now they're going to move Christian Cole out, throw a quick in route to Nate Shelton, who makes his first catch. That's going to move the chains. That's a gain of 7 yards and a first down. Yeah, you're going to see a lot of that from the Sachse Mustangs, a very controlled passing attack. But what they're doing when they do that play after play, they're setting up the big bomb. Shelton can go deep. They've got a lot of deep threats on that receiver core. Wilson in motion. They fake the handoff, hand it off to Christian Cole to the left side off tackle for about 4 yards. So a nice start here for the Mustang offense. They're picking up 4 and 5 yards on every play. And the nice thing is it's going between the tackles. They haven't even had to go wide yet. Even with the pass, they're going to throw a lot of those quick out passes. We haven't seen one yet. Quick offense again. There's the quick throw to Shelton. Oh, and he can't hold on to it. It was a quick slant route that time, Scott, and if Shelton hangs on to that, he's going to split the 2 safeties and go for a distance. Shelton's kind of a Beasley of the Cowboys with speed. In other words, a lot of his big plays are right down the center of the field. You see here, he might have split a couple of defenders and gone the distance. He's not a big sideline streak pattern. He's more of a crossing guy who can just cut it up and go the distance. Wilson in motion again on the second down. There's the quick throw out. The catch this time is made. That is number 9, Drew Jackson. He's going to push forward for the first down out to the 48-yard line of the Mustangs. So
Get a nice start here offensively so far, Scott, for the Mustangs. Just what they wanted, some quick strike passes, and, of course, the running game up the middle.
This is classic Sachse, and they're also in the hurry-up offense. This is what they do best.
Maiden looking to throw it out in the flat, wide open. Christian Cole out of the backfield. He's going to have close to another first down as 4 Skyline Raiders stack him up right at the chains. And it looks like the
Yep, they're moving them.
Yeah, the yardage needed is there, so here's the throw.
Classic example here. They send 2 receivers deep on that far side and then slip Cole out of the backfield, and nobody was within 10 yards of him.
Fakes the handoff to Cole. Maiden going to keep it himself to the right side. Splits through the front line of the Raiders and gets all the way down to the 25 of Skyline. That is a gain of almost 16 yards, and right now the Mustang offense rolling.
Maiden, one of those rare quarterbacks who delivers the blow. He doesn't take a blow. Watch him deliver the blow. Watch him lower his head like a running back here and try and run over this guy. See the hit there? I mean, he loves contact.
Over the middle.
Got a penalty here on the first down snap, and they're going to get a procedure called against the Mustangs. That'll at least momentarily stop this drive.
On the offense, number 3. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Takes a little oil out of the well-oiled offense. That's one reason they've looked so good. That's the first penalty of the ball game, outside the opening kickoff, obviously. But yeah, when they're really on a roll, they don't commit the little ticky-tack penalties like you saw there, and it's like a machine rolling down the field.
First down and 15. Now the ball at the 29 of Skyline. Just underway here at Williams Stadium. 2 minutes in, and the Mustangs, of course, with the ball first, driving here. There's a snap, the fake handoff, play action. They're looking for the screen pass to Cole, who makes the catch. And he breaks 2 tackles and then gets pushed out of bounds around the 19-yard line for a nice gain.
Well, I think they were hoping to get a lot more out of that because they had a couple of their big linemen out in front there on this screen wide right. Desmond Nixon, 5'11", 265, and Kevin Valdez out there, 5'11", 275. But they didn't get nearly as much as they wanted to. But on first down, pretty good game.
Got the penalty yards back plus 4 more. The snap to Maiden. He's going to keep it himself to the left side. Lunges forward for a gain of only about 2 yards. So here we go, our first third down of the drive for the Mustangs, 3rd down and 4.
I'll tell you how effective Sachse has been offensively this year. I was checking some stats this week. You know, they've only 2 out of 4 on field goals this year. That's how good they are, because Jeffrey Pace is a good kicker, and yet they've only had to use him 4 times. They get in the end zone most of the time.
Pretty amazing for a high school football team. There's a quick throw out to Christian Cole. He trips at around the 19, falls forward to around the 17. He's going to be about 3 yards shy of the first down, and here's decision time early on for the Mustangs.
Yeah, and on the left hash, I would expect they would go for this because it's close. I mean, they're 2 yards away. They just marched it down the field here, so why not go for it on 4th down? They haven't struggled one bit.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they're going to do. Split backs in the backfield here on this 4th down and 3.
By the way, that was only like the 2nd 3rd down play in this drive, so they're getting it done on 1st and 2nd down. The penalty is the only thing that hurt them on this little series.
There's a snap. Maiden rolls out to his right, looking for somebody, throws it deep, and he's going to throw it away. That's going to be a turnover on downs, and the Raiders have held.
Well, give all the credit in the world on the pressure, as he had to unload that a lot earlier than he wanted to. Dorian Monday, again, another defensive end getting in there, and on top of him, he wanted to get around the corner here and then throw it, but he had to throw it on the run, off balance, and predictably not a good throw out of bounds. So I give Skyline credit. They bend but don't break all the way down the field.
Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing. It's got a nice drive for the Mustangs, but then when they got that procedure penalty, it kind of bogged down after that. A turnover on downs, and the Raiders on offense. Handoff goes up the middle for a short gain. Actually, they're going to say he's right at the line of scrimmage. It looks like so no gain on the play. And it gives us a quick chance to talk about the Raider offense.
Yeah.
Number 1, Belton Gardner is the quarterback, at least starting out here. He's a sophomore and a good one.
Yeah, he is their leading passer, obviously, but also their leading rusher. He's got over 1,000 yards rushing, which ranks him in the Metroplex.
Gardner with a nice throw on the slant route. That's going to be a first down. Number 23, Isaiah Humphreys of the Mustangs, right there with the coverage, but just a nice grab, a nice throw and catch to Jarvis Williams.
They've used 2 receivers or 2 quarterbacks a lot this year. You may see Terry and Randolph, but the last few weeks they've kind of settled on this guy, and he's done a really good job running and throwing.
Gardner hands off in a big run to the left side. That is number 5 down the sideline for the Raiders. Jordan Hudson, and a great run by the sophomore, picks up the first down.
Yeah, sophomore, that's a key word there. Hudson's one of the he's the dual threat on this team. He is their second leading rusher as a receiver with over 600 yards, but he also has caught 21 passes for 210. That's second best on the team also.
So in Mustang territory, 1st and 10 at the 49. Quick throw on the out route, and it is completed once again to number 6, Jarvis Williams. This time a short gain of only 2. Pretty good coverage out there by Nick Alexander.
Yeah, and also playing it tight, which you got to watch tonight. When you're playing a team with a lot of speed, of course, Sachse has a lot of speed too, mostly on the defensive side, but you watch how much of a buffer they have on those plays. Are they going to give him a big cushion, a small cushion, or be on top of him? And Sachse pretty confident playing it tight right now.
Handoff goes to number 2. Boy, and he is going to get hit hard. And a loss of 2 yards is big number 7, the middle linebacker for the Mustangs, Rico Jeffers, with the big hit there. And it's a loss on the play.
Big play because it sets up a 3rd and long, a 3rd and 8 for Skyline. Just like Sachse, this is their first 3rd down play in this possession. So both offenses have come out strong. There's only been one 5-yard penalty against either offense.
As you said, 3rd down and 8 here. There's the snap. Gardner looking to throw. Here comes pressure. He's going to roll out to the right. He's got some room out here down the side. And is he going to pick it up? I think he did, Scott. It's going to depend on the spot, but it looks like they've got him at the 38.5, and that will move the chains.
Yeah, as I like to say, I like to get that mark first. And, yeah, he got it by a good yard. Got a nice mark out of bounds here by the line judge.
Boy, just broke containment that time.
I don't like the way he carries the ball, but other than that, he tucked it as he got to the sideline, which was wise.
Yeah, that's something those Sachse coaches will get, take a note of as well, is how he, like you said, he carries the ball kind of out across his body.
You know, they always call that a loaf of bread. I don't carry a loaf of bread like that to you.
No, I don't either.
I've never understood that, the way, they described that through the years. That was used a lot more in the old days, but when I was a kid.
1st and 10 at the 38. They're going for it all. Here's a deep throw. Down the sideline, and I thought he came up with it there, but when he hit the ground, he could not hang on to it, so that pass falls incomplete.
Well, he had beaten on the play Nick Alexander, kind of. I say that Alexander was with him kind of step for step. The ball ended up being slightly underthrown, so it allowed the receiver to come back to the ball and the leap, and he almost made the play because of that. Sometimes underthrowing it slightly can be advantageous, especially when the coverage is there initially, as you saw right there.
Boy, nice try there by Jarvis Williams. A pretty good throw from Gardner, but Williams not able to hang on to it, so it sets up 2nd down and 10 at the 38.
I'm sorry, Steve. Watch that Jarvis Williams. He is their leading receiver and by far average per catch at 17. He's their big play threat.
Gardner, same throw. This time he overthrows the intended receiver, number 7, Javon Rollison, and it's going to be 3rd down and 10. 2 consecutive pass plays go incomplete for the Raiders.
Interesting. I wonder about the play calling. They march it downfield with a lot of short stuff, a run here and there, short passes. Then they get down here. They got a 1st and 10 at the Sachse 38, and they throw 2 long passes. Why not dance with what brung you down the field? Keep that machine going.
Absolutely. Gardner.
Of course, this could be 4-down territory.
Yes, it could. Gardner looking for a screen pass. There's a quick throw out. Boy, he's got a lot of room out here. That is number 5, the running back. Boy, nice play that time to Jordan Hudson. They just kind of slipped him out there in the flat. And so I said a screen pass. That's one of those, side screens, and we'll see it here on the replay. I like
to call it a swing screen. They just kind of swing it out the last second. As you said, he kind of just wanders over there by himself. They kind of clear out that side of the field, and then they find out he's wide open over there.
There's a snap. Gardner takes it. This is a design quarterback run. Has some good blocking. Gets inside the 10. That's a gain of about 8 yards. Well, I tell you what, the Raiders with a nice drive here. We saw the Mustangs drive all the way down the field and turnover on downs, and Skyline's come back here with a strong drive of their own.
Started at 8:21 on the clock from their own 17-yard line.
2nd down and 2 at the 9 for the Raiders. No score, 5:35 remaining and counting in the 1st quarter.
We should mention there's no wind to affect kicks at this point.
There's a snap, the handoff to the right side. Boy, good job by the Mustang defense to stuff him at the line of scrimmage. I believe that was number 97. Pardon me, that's 99. Or 98, I'm sorry. I'll get it right here in a second.
Tony Krasnicki. They don't have a 99, by the way.
There you go.
At least they didn't before tonight. That's really the first run. One of the few runs we've seen between the tackles over the right side, and they stacked it up immediately.
So 3rd down and short, and it'll be interesting to see what the Raiders do here. Keep an eye, of course, on the quarterback, Gardner. There's the snap. He is going to hand it off. Boy, makes a nice move inside, gets outside, and he's going to pick up the first down to around the 6-yard line. That's a gain of 4, and it will move the chain, set up a 1st down and goal for the Raiders.
Well, it was just pure effort by Jackson. Watch this. Sachse actually got the penetration, which forced it outside. See the move that he put on the boundary when he got to the boundary, and that's what got him the 1st down. The kid's a powerful runner as well as shifty and has pretty good speed. He's got it all.
So 1st and goal at the 6. There's a snap. Gardner going to keep it himself. Tries to get to the left side. Trying to outrace Mustangs. Is he going to get there? He dives. Touchdown Raiders.
Got the pylon. All you got to do is get the pylon before you step out of bounds, and he just dove looking for that. That's why that pylon is there. It is a running back's dream. So we see the replay here.
You see Jeffers chasing him here.
Yeah, and he just had too much speed for Jeffers. Almost, he broke a tackle about the 5-yard line. Sachse should have had him, and Joy Jeffers never gave up on the play, did he? Made a late dive trying to keep him out of the end zone.
So the Raiders strike first here, the extra point attempt coming up. And the signal is no good as he pushed it to the left. And the extra point is no good, but on that bench for the Skyline Raiders, number 1, Velton Gardner with the touchdown run of 6 yards. Our score, the Skyline Raiders 6, the Sachse Mustangs nothing. We'll be back after these messages. As we are back, a look at the Sachse band, trying to cheer on the Mustangs as they actually trail in this game. As you take a look at the sophomore quarterback, Velton Gardner, and boy, he led a nice drive that time for the Raiders, Scott.
83 yards, 12 plays. They were 2 out of 2 on 3rd down, and they used 3:56. You know, Sachse used 3:36 off the clock and got nothing out of their drive. And Skyline, you know, they got to be an underdog coming into this one tonight, and especially when you look at the records. And, you know, even Red Barons admitted to me they're a little bit down. You know, their program's a little bit down this year, but they're still pretty good. And I think we just saw that we may see a pretty good ball game here tonight.
I would agree with you wholeheartedly, and as you said, they're 5-5, you know, this year overall, and not what Skyline Raider fans are accustomed to. As you see the deep kick come to Alexander, boy, he gets tripped up right around the 22-yard line, falls forward to the 23, and that's where the Mustangs will start. But yeah, 5-5 Skyline team, not what they're used to, but well, I tell you what, they had a nice drive on that first possession.
Yeah, very much. Again, no penalties, while Sachse only had 1 penalty. That's why these two offenses are looking good. They're not making any mistakes to hurt themselves. Here's a reason for Skyline's 5-5 record. They were 0-3 in non-district, were outscored 27-130. Played a pretty good schedule, though. They played Arlington, Martin, Mesquite, Horn, and Duncanville. So they're a young team, according to Red Barons, much younger than normal. They don't have quite the depth because of that, but they look pretty good on the first possession.
Yes, they did. The handoff goes to Christian Cole. He breaks through the line, gets to the second level, and he's going to be out across the 45 to the 47-yard line. A nice gain of almost 20 yards.
All right, GRS TV, show us that hole up the middle. I have a feeling it was massive. Let's take a look here. There you go. Actually, a nice cut up the middle, and then quickly they go with another play.
Boy, Maiden keeps it. He's in a lot of trouble as he's going to be stacked up and dropped for a loss of about 10 yards. They're going to mark him back inside the 40 all the way down to about the 38.
I wonder who this quick play offense drives more crazy, the TV camera folks or the announcers. I mean, they couldn't even finish the replay before Sachse ran another play on us there.
Yeah, Sachse definitely with the quick huddle going on in this game,
Tell you,
or the no huddle.
Steve, you don't see many 10-yard losses on a simple play like that. Skyline's coming up with some big plays, like on 4th down to stop that Sachse drive.
Maiden looking to throw it. He is looking for number 11 that time, Zach Foster, and he overthrows him just a little bit. So it'll be 3rd down and around 20 here.
It's a shame. Zach, one of those receivers that doesn't get a lot of attention, but he was open on that little late, skinny post route. As you'll see here, he had a defender behind him. I mean, this is very completable. Just a little bit led too far there by Maiden.
So 3rd down and long, and the Raiders get a little pressure here early in this game as well. See if the Mustang offensive line can hold their blocks long enough for Maiden to find an open receiver. This time he's got time. Now he steps up. He's going to try to run. He's got a long way to go for a 1st down, and he's not going to get there. He gets dropped at around the 48, so it's going to set up 4th down and 10, and the Mustangs should punt it here.
He had 4 receivers in the pattern, nobody open. They even wheeled Wilson out of the backfield from his wingback position, and he was open initially, but not, Maiden had 3 receivers on the left side, and then Wilson the only one to the right. By the time he looked over to the right, well, actually he looked over the whole time, but he just figured Wilson was not open, and there you go.
And to tuck it and run. And again, when you've got 20 yards to get, that's a hard run to make. And a timeout is going to be called here, looks like, by the Raiders.
Timeout. Skyline. That's their first timeout to have.
So the Raiders with their first timeout. Why don't we just keep it here? It's 6-0.
Let me give you a possible reason for that timeout. It's 4th down and a manageable 10 when it was 20, by the way, after the maiden run. I'm thinking Skyline is over there talking about watch for the fake, guys. This is at the Sachse 47, center of the field. This is pretty good fake territory, if you ask me.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Scott. You know they've got to be reminding their players of that exact thing. So, timeout
unless
call.
they just didn't have the right personnel on the field. But, punt formation can lead to different personnel. That would be the other reason to take the timeout. Boy, they've got a man who is expecting a gigantic punt here. Waiting back at the 10-yard line is the return man.
Yeah, number 88, Devin Noel, and he is standing, as you said, at the 10-yard line awaiting this punt. There's the snap, and the kick is away. No pressure, and boy, I guess it's a reason he's at the 10. He's going to field it at around the 12. Boy, and there's going to be a block in the back there, and that one's going to be easily called, and he's going to be tackled at around the 15, and they're going to mark penalty yardage back after that.
Steve, did you watch the defensive line upon the snap? They didn't rush, and they didn't fall back either. They just stood there. In other words, they were watching for the fake. All 8 guys had their eyes on that punter, making sure he didn't take off around end, and that's what led to the no return, because 3 or 4 Sachse guys were able to get downfield because they didn't have anything set up other than watch the punter. And, boy, they're going to have to start really deep here after this penalty.
Yes, they are. It's going to be inside the 10.
Give Sachse credit. They covered the punt great. They didn't need the penalty to push him back, and that's going to be an extra bonus.
Block in the back on the return team, number 12. That penalty is declined. Block in the back on the return team, number 8. That penalty is accepted. Half the distance to go. First down.
I guess based on where the flag is resting is the one you accept, but other than that, what do? You just pick your favorite number, 8 or 10 in that situation?
Exactly. That's
you don't see too many times where there's 2 different illegal blocks on a punt return by the same team.
But it will move him inside the 10, as we said. 1st and 10 at the 7. There's the snap. Gardner looking to throw it. He's in the end zone. Boy, here comes the pressure. He escapes it somehow, and I think he gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Boy, great job by him just to get back to the line.
Yeah, again, he's a scrambler. He's also a runner. They'll run option with him and have him keep it. He's a good ball player.
Well, he's standing in the end zone. Here's the initial pressure.
Coverage sack. He looked twice for a receiver and couldn't find anybody open. Although it's not a sack, but the coverage was good enough to force that.
Well, they were looking for the option. Gardner cuts it back to the right side. Another nice run, and he's going to get about 7 yards on that scramble.
You think he's elusive? That play was intended to go left, and he immediately abandoned the play, cut it right, improvised, and got a nice gain of it. Now they got a manageable 3rd and short coming.
Yeah, 3rd down and 3 to be exact. And as you said, Scott, it looked like they were going to run the option to the left, and he immediately cut it back to the right and picked up 7. We're inside of 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. 6-0 Raiders on top and facing a 3rd and 3. There's the snap. Gardner looking to throw it. He throws a quick slant, and boy, just splits 2 defenders, or pardon me, 2 receivers, and the pass falls incomplete.
Well, it was also, I think he was intending it for the quick slant over the middle by Latrell Jackson, and it was just a poor pass way behind him. They had a chance to complete this, but see how far behind it was on the replay. Good job by GRS-TV, as always.
As you said, Jackson, the intended receiver. The pass is incomplete, and Sachse should get pretty good field position out of this as the Raiders facing a 4th and 3 here, and they'll punt from inside their 5.
Nick Alexander's at the 45, so they're only expecting about a 30-yard punt. Obviously, they've done their homework and think that this punter is not real good.
Boy, gets a nice sideways punt. It takes a great bounce for the Raiders. Alexander picks it up at around the 38, just kind of stands there, and he's in a lot of trouble now, and he's just going to go out of bounds.
Well, it's a 47-yard punt and about 20 on the roll, and a very late flag, folks. Unless he just couldn't get it out of his pocket, the umpire throws a flag well after the play had ended, all the way back at the 28 of Skyline. What in the world could this be?
Yeah, that's probably in the territory of an unnecessary roughness against somebody.
Or unnecessary mouthing or something unnecessary.
Exactly. Yeah, so let's see what the call is, but it turns out a pretty good punt for the Raiders there.
Yeah, 47 yards. That'll get it done every time.
Personal foul. Number 21 on the return team. Blocking someone obvious out of the play. 15 yards from the end of the kick. First down.
So that turns out really good for the Raiders because that's going to move the Mustangs back 15 more, so they're going to start at their own 23.
Turns out to be a net punt of 62 when you add the 15 on. So, yeah, good job of flipping the field there. Both teams have been flipping the field well so far, and that's why we're stuck on a 6-0 score.
So the ball, as we said, marked at the 23, 1st and 10 for the Mustangs as they come back out on offense for the 3rd time in this game. The first possession, of course, a turnover on downs. The second possession, they had to punt it away. Let's see if the Mustangs can get the offense going on this one. Fakes the handoff, quick throw out, and he finds a receiver. That's number 9 down the sideline. Boy, nice inside move, and he is out across the 45 to about the 47-yard line, and that is Drew Jackson.
Well, he got a great block from his twin receiver over there. It looked like Keelan Wilson with the block. As you see the rip, yeah, that's Keelan leading the way, and that's what sprung him. Nowadays, Steve, as I like to say, wide receivers are blockers as much as they are receivers in these offenses.
Hands it off to Christian Cole, who breaks through the line, and he's going to pick up about 12 more. Boy, a good run that time by Christian Cole.
I think the machine is well oiled already on this drive. They are right back where they started on that first possession. Had a little blimp there in the second possession.
There's a quick throw out again to Drew Jackson. Picks up another block and then gets pushed out of bounds at around the 33-yard line. So that's a gain of about 7 more, and they're moving right along.
It's going to be hard to work in these replays when they run plays this quickly.
Mark him out at around the 34.5, so let's give him only a 5-yard reception instead of 7.5. We are inside of 30 seconds here in the first quarter. Well, it's been a good first quarter here at Williams Stadium. There's a snap, hand off to Christian Cole to the right side, and he is going to be tackled at around the 30-yard line. That's a gain of 4, and probably the final play of the first quarter.
He's going to be just short of the first down. Looked like he was going to get it, but give all the credit in the world. Cameron Rose grabbed him down low and just held on and kept him from getting that extra yard. So Sachse's going to have a 3rd and 1 when we start the next quarter.
And we have come to the end of the first quarter here at Williams Stadium. A pretty good game thus far. Our score, the Skyline Raiders 6, the Sachse Mustangs nothing. We'll be back after these messages on GRS TV. Start of the second quarter at Williams Stadium as you take a look at the Sachse High School crowd. Boy, nice crowd on hand for a home playoff game in this bi-district round of the playoffs.
I just noticed that. I'm glad you brought that up. This side is almost packed. I mean, there's not many seats available. We see little clusters, but not much. Skyline, if you want to go over there and sit, there's plenty of seats on the Skyline side.
And off to Cole on 3rd down, and he breaks the initial tackle there, and he will pick up the first down. Boy, great effort by Christian Cole as he was hit in the backfield that time, Scott, but keeps those legs going and picks up the first.
Yeah, boy, they had him corralled. I mean, he should have been down, and you're right. A defender just hangs on, and Cole would not go down easily. Got a nice mark also.
Well, high snap there, and boy, Maiden keeps it himself, and he is in trouble again. He's going to lose yardage back to the the 29, so a loss of 1.
It's funny, every once in a while, Skyline gives up yards, then they make a big play in the backfield, then they give up more yards, and then they make a, they're making just enough big plays to keep Sachse off the scoreboard so far.
Yes, they are.
Your first quarter stats: Sachse 7 first downs, 135 total yards, including 71 on the ground. Skyline 5 first downs, 90 yards, 53 on the ground.
Penalty flags on that snap.
False start on the offense, number 62. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Just 2 penalties for each team. Maiden of Sachse 7 of 10 for 64 yards. Cole 51 yards on 5 carries so far. Drew Jackson already with 3 catches, as well as Cole. Jackson 38 yards, Cole 20 yards. Belton Gardner's 3 out of 6 passing for Skyline, 37 yards. Gardner also the leading rusher with 5 carries, 30 yards. Steve?
Oh, big pressure up the middle, and Maiden's going to go down. Wow. And that's one of those, like you said, Scott, earlier, a coverage sack as Maiden had nowhere to throw, and then finally the pressure comes up the middle, and watch Maiden go down in a heap.
Just kind of 16 just broke loose from the blocker at the last second. It looked like he was going to be blocked well by Hayden Park, but he broke away. And Maiden, that's kind of like a little bit unlike Maiden to hang in that pocket that long. Usually he has a little timer in his head. He usually starts moving around, after 3 or 4 seconds. 3rd down and 28 here. Maiden looking to throw it. He overthrows the intended receiver. Number 11, Zach Foster. It's going to be 4th down and 28. The Mustangs going to have to punt. Again, Skyline allows them to drive all the way down the field, and then once they get into Skyline territory, they come up with a couple of big plays in the backfield to slow down the Mustangs. Same thing happened on the first possession. That's why the Raiders are leading 6-0. Just a bad pass, as you saw, way over the head of the intended receiver. Jalen's not quite as sharp as he normally is so far tonight, but we'll see if he can correct that. Yeah, I was just going to mention the same thing. A little sloppy here early on for the Mustangs. Maybe a little bit of nervousness here playing in front of the home fans, but we still got plenty of time in this ball game, and they're setting up to punt it away here. There's a high, good punt. It's going to be taken right at around the 12-yard line, and going out of bounds is the return man, number 88 for the Skyline Raiders, Devin Noel. And you mentioned the nerves. I mean, Skyline is the largest school in the Dallas Independent School District. And remember, 2-3 years ago, they were battling, they were almost to the Final Four a couple of times. They were lost to Allen. We had a game on the radio when they played Allen deep in the playoffs. So, this is a quality program, and Dallas is best over the last several years. So that may have something to do with those nerves you mentioned. Yeah, you're exactly right on that, Scott. And I'll tell you what, the Raiders playing well here through a quarter and about a minute and a half here as we are at 10:25 remaining in the second quarter. Here's the snap. Gardner going to hand it off. Boy, and that is going to be a huge loss as the handoff goes to number 5, Jordan Hudson. He is going to be wrapped up and dropped at around the 9-yard line for a loss of 6. Tony Krasnicki once again making the big play for the Mustangs. As you saw him come right through the middle. Tony's had a huge year for Sachse, 3rd leading tackler on the team as a defensive lineman, but leads in sacks with 8 and 3rd in losses with 9 tackles for losses. He's been the force on the defensive line. So the loss of 6 sets up a 2nd down and 16. Funny, most of the losses have been for big yardage tonight. Yes, they have. Gardner looking to throw it. Now he's going to escape outside, looking for somewhere to throw. Boy, slides around, makes a nice spin move, and finally tackled for a loss on the play, so that'll go down as a sack. He had 4 receivers, 2 short and 2 long. I'm surprised he didn't find anybody open, but when you roll out and get that close to the sideline, all of a sudden your narrowness of field really gets narrow on you. As you can see, he's just looking at 1 receiver over here on the sideline. He wasn't open. He had 3 other guys out the pattern. 3rd down and 17 now as the Raiders going backwards on this drive. Got to get to the 25 to pick up the 1st down. There's the snap. Gardner looking to throw it again. He's going to throw a quick out route. Catch is made. And coming upfield. Oh, no, he breaks 3 tackles. He's going to pick up the 1st down. Sachse had it covered well. They had it covered very nicely for 3rd and 17. In other words, give up the short pass, then make the tackle and make them punt it. But he just slithered his way right through. Let's see how he got this. Pretty good blocking, by the way, was part of it, but then he hurdled one player, and that's how he got the first down, as he went over the top of Chris Washington.
Yeah, the senior wide receiver, Javon Rollison, with the nice catch, and then here comes Gardner to the right side. He's going to pick up another first down. That's a gain of 11 more.
Part of the reason Skyline's getting this done tonight, they're 3 out of 4 now on third down.
Here's a look at that replay. You're going to see Gardner just taking himself to the right, and he runs it to his own player there.
One thing we're noticing so far, Steve, Skyline does not go down easily. Remember, Gardner is their top rusher, even though he's the quarterback with over 1,000 yards. Then they have that running back who's a tough runner.
Going to hand it off to number 5, who gets hit and dropped immediately. That's a loss of 2 on the play, and Hudson's not finding much running room here early on in this game.
You notice something interesting. The ball has been on the right hash almost this entire possession, and they keep going to the right side. That must be the strength of their offensive line, but that cuts the field in half. You know, why not send some speed around the left end over here where you got wide open spaces to the left?
Junior linebacker Cedric Johnson made that last tackle, a loss of 2. And yeah, Scott, I agree with you 100%. I think you'll see him come to the wide side of the field here shortly. There's a snap to Gardner. He's looking. Here comes the pressure. He spins out of it, throws across. He's got a wide open receiver. Here we go. He's across midfield, and that is Hudson with the big play down to the Mustang 45.
Something tells me Sachse was in a zone there because, you know, there were a lot of defenders in the area where he caught this ball, just no closure from the DBs. But to give Gardner all the credit in the world, he's the one that set it up by scrambling out of trouble and then throwing it across his body the other way for a right-handed quarterback.
Boy, a lot of confusion here. This may be a big play for the Raiders. Number 14, oh, and he gets tripped up by Rico Jeffers, who may have made a touchdown-saving tackle that time. Wow, number 14 for the Raiders, Carlton Shellman. And watch this play. The Mustangs not set at all.
For Rico to go all that way as a middle linebacker, that's why he's going to be playing on the weekends in the future. He's got size and speed. He almost plays like a defensive back with his speed. That's twice tonight we've seen him go sideline to sideline and almost, that time, prevented a touchdown, probably like you said, and he tried to prevent a touchdown earlier inside the 5.
This time coming left, a pretty big hole out here for Hudson. Now penalty flag comes out, and you know what that's probably going to be? Right in the area of offensive holding, so that one probably will come back.
Well, let's see what Rick Ford, the referee, has to say here shortly. This would be a big boost for Sachse's defense. You know, they got to be on their heels right now. They got to be getting a little bit tired this time of possession on this drive. We're already into the 4th minute of this possession that started back at the 15.
On the offense, number 78. 10-yard penalty, first down.
There indeed is your holding call, and yeah, I would echo your sentiments exactly, Scott. They've got to be getting tired. This has been a good drive for Skyline. As you said, started at the 15. If you remember, they had a loss on their first 2 plays, so
right.
You know they really had it inside the 10 when they kind of got the momentum and got out to where they are now.
It was a marked penalty. They marked it off from where the penalty was, so a 3-yard gain and then the 10-yard walk-off, a net loss of 7 instead of 10.
Gardner with the wide receiver screen, the quick throw out to number 6. Boy, a good tackle out here by Nick Alexander, a gain of only about 3 yards on the play.
Just a play that Sachse smelled out from the beginning because there were 3 defenders and only 1 blocker and the receiver, so they had no chance. They didn't have the numbers because Sachse read it immediately and got over there.
Another completion out there to Jarvis Williams on that last play, but again, Nick Alexander, a great job to upend him after a gain of only 3 yards. Now we've got a 2nd down and about 14 needed for the first down as we approach the midway point here of the 2nd quarter. Gardner perhaps changing the play here at the line. Takes the snap, straight draw back, a 3-step drop. He's looking deep. He's got number 6. Guess what? That's a touchdown, Raiders. Boy, a great throw into double coverage that time. That was Jarvis Williams, his leading receiver, with another catch, and the Raiders extend the lead.
Yeah, he split the double coverage. Nick Alexander on one side, Isaiah Humphreys on the other, and just went right down the middle of them. Neither one of those DBs really found the ball, which is part of the problem, but the receiver found it easily. It wasn't an easy catch, had to reach way up to make it. Some fingernails got involved there.
Absolutely. Number 60, Jaime Contreras, to attempt the extra point here for the Raiders, and a little bit of a stunned Mustang crowd here on the home side. The kick is up. This time it is good, and the Raiders have extended the lead.
You mentioned something. I'll tell you, anybody in other press boxes across the Metroplex, when they see this score, they're going to be stunned too. Should be 14-0, but the missed PAT after the first touchdown.
Absolutely right. Number 6 there, Jarvis Williams, with the catch on your screen. We'll keep it here. Boy, good start here for the Skyline Raiders. You know, they've had 2 long drives here, Scott, that both have resulted in touchdowns, and they've got a 13-0 lead here.
Well, that was a 9-play, 85-yard drive, 4.5 minutes off the clock, and the earlier one was 12 plays, 83 yards with 3:56 off the clock. Plenty of time to throw. That was the key. First of all, the offensive line set up a nice pocket. He was able to step up and, you know, loft it over the middle. It wasn't a real hard throw. He got just enough air in it. It looked kind of flat. He kind of throws a flat ball, but the receiver was open enough to where, you know, nobody could pick it off. I'd like to see him get a little bit more air under it, but he throws a fairly nice ball.
I'll tell you what, too, Scott, just looking at the Skyline Raider team, again, we've seen them now for, you know, a quarter and a half. And, you know, they're 3 big play, you know, offensive players, if you will. Number 1, Velton Gardner, the quarterback. Number 5, Jordan Hudson, the running back. And, of course, number 6, Jarvis Williams, the wide receiver. All 3 of them underclassmen.
And they're all versatile. The quarterback has run and thrown the ball. The running back has run it and caught a couple of passes. And then the wideout is their best receiver. So, yeah, they're multi-purpose players because they don't have a lot of depth because they are young. This is a team that's going to get better next year.
Well, a deep kick, and Shelton takes it right at the goal line. He's going to try to get it out, but he only gets to the 17-yard line, so the Mustangs once again start deep in their own territory.
I would like to start selling tickets to Red Baron's halftime speech. That could be pretty interesting at this point. Trailing 13-0 again, Sachse, a pretty good favorite coming into this one tonight.
Yeah, and why not? Of course, coming in at 10-0 on the season. Of course, Skyline coming in at 5-5. But I tell you what, as we've seen, you know, in years past, you know, sometimes those records aren't indicative of how the teams are going to play once they get to the playoffs. So the Mustangs need to get some offense generated here. We've got 5:52 remaining. There's the snap, the quick throw out. Catch is made. Boy, nice play here is number 11 for the Mustangs. Zach Foster with the catch. He's going to pick up about 15 yards in the first down.
Keelan Wilson, they might want to move him to the offensive line. That's the second good block he's had freeing receivers tonight. As you see the replay, that was Keelan with the block to free him down the sideline.
1st and 10 at the 31. This time the fake handoff. Maiden's in trouble. He escapes it for a moment and then gets hit from behind. And, boy, he keeps driving to get as many yards as he can. He ends up picking up 4 on that play. A pretty good job by Maiden.
It's funny you mentioned that. Red Barons and I were talking about, you know, Maiden would have made a pretty good running back, but I think he's just better as a runner, as a quarterback, kind of like Felton is for Skyline. Not sure he'd be a good running back.
Hand off to Cole this time. The Raiders have none of it as he's going to be dropped for a gain of only about a yard. So sets up a 3rd down and long here. Let's give it a long 4. And this is a big play here in the first half, I think, for the Mustangs. They really need to keep the ball here and try to keep, you know, get momentum going or heading into half, I should say.
Just 2 out of 4 on 3rd down tonight for Sachse. And, yeah, this is not 4-down territory. They would have to punt it away here if they don't get it.
Send a man in motion. There's a snap. Maiden looking to throw. Here comes pressure. And he's going to go down again. It's going to be 4th down.
Steve, we've said it all night. He had the time initially. He's looking downfield. He steps up in the pocket, and nobody open. The Skyline secondary has been the key, I think, so far tonight for Skyline defensively. He just cannot find any open receivers. He's also getting boxed in a little bit. You know, Jalen tends to get out of that pocket when that alarm clock goes off in his head, and he's just not escaping much tonight either. You know, when you escape, then all of a sudden your receivers can uncover and improvise a little bit, and we've seen no improvisation, if that's a word, by the way, tonight, is like we've seen in the past.
Absolutely. Coach Barron's right now.
But I think it's the pocket. It's the job that Skyline's doing. They're forcing him to go forward instead of outside, which he likes to do normally.
Here comes the kick, and no pressure. Oh, my gosh, it came off the side of his foot. It's going to bounce out at around the 42, and right now, momentum clearly on the side of the Raiders is
Just to let you know, those tickets for the Red Barons halftime speech have just gone up to $20 a piece. If you want to buy them, come see me.
Wow, and now it is imperative that the Mustangs make a good defensive stop here on the Raiders. They can ill afford to give up more points going into halftime here as they're already trailing 13-0.
Just a 21-yard punt there. That did not help. They did not get the field flip starting at the 42 here.
So the Raiders 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. There's the snap. Gardner going to keep it himself. Tried to look for a block. He's going to get around Jeffers. and goes out of bounds close to the first down marker. Looks like they're going to mark him out at around the 49.5. Boy, it looked to me like he got to the sticks there. But they're going to say he stepped out about 1.5 yards short.
Yeah, let's see what GRS TV has to tell us. Good job at turning the corner, facing it up.
He's in there.
I think they got the marker right, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
maybe another half yard at best.
Second down and 1. There's a snap. Gardner going to hand it off to number 5, Hudson. He's going to be close to the first down, and I think he's got it. He falls forward, and that is going to move the chains.
Well, he's closer to the 47 than he is the 48, and he needed the 48. I'll tell you, this is a huge possession. Already down 13-0. 20-0 would be a heck of a deficit to have to come back from in the second half. You know, Sachse hadn't trailed much this year, and for Skyline, it's going to give them a huge boost to confidence. They're going to have confidence even if they're up 13-0. Can you imagine up 20-0?
Exactly, and I'll go you one further after this play. There's a snap, the handoff coming to the left side. Boy, the defense of the Mustangs there this time, and they're going to drop him for a loss. And I believe that was Hudson again on the carry. It was indeed, and he's going to lose 3 that time. Tony Krasnicki, the senior, once again in on the tackle.
Back to the 50-yard line. Second down, 13.
Nice job there by the Mustangs. And my point, Scott, what I was going to mention, when's the last time you remember, again, we still have 2:51 left and counting, but when's the last time the Mustangs haven't scored in a half?
And have been behind at the half. It doesn't happen often, no. Now, they do have all 3 of their timeouts. If they could get a stop here, get the ball back, 3 timeouts left and 2 minutes on the clock.
5 seconds left on the play clock here on second down and 13. Gardner, quick throw. Boy, and I think that one got tipped at the line of scrimmage. And here's a penalty flag late. You hope that's not going to be a roughing the passer. Exactly.
Absolutely, that's got to be. And there it is from Rick Ford.
Boy, that is a huge call.
Because it would be actually it'd be third down, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Boy, big call in this game. Let's see if we can pick it up here.
And it's an automatic first down if that is the call. Hunter Spears, he just made the tackle a moment ago.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. On the defense, number 7. 15 yards from the previous shot. Automatic first down.
They sent the house 3 down linemen and 2 inside linebackers. And one of the guys that was on that blitz, Rico Jeffers, with the late hit.
Well, here's a look at it again. We'll see if we can pick. There's the tip from Spears, and yeah, he gets hit right there at the end of the play. Boy, good job by the camera crew to pick that one up in slow motion. There's the snap. First down, Gardner trying to escape. He's going to go down. A nice play. Once again, Tony Krasnicki, who's had a great first half here for the Mustangs on defense.
I'll tell you, if I'm Skyline, I run a quick draw here because Sachse is just rearing back and rushing here. They're blitzing, and they know they're going to throw the ball. So I think a quick delayed handoff up the middle or a quick hitter up the middle might just go a long way here and try and defeat this rush that Sachse's got going.
Boy, and I tell you what, I like the strategy here of the Raiders as well, Scott. If you notice, they're taking all the time, they're running all the time off the play clock here so that, even if they have to punt it back, they're not going to give Sachse much time.
And give them momentum. Remember, momentum is the huge thing and up for grabs on this possession right now.
Skyline, that's their second timeout of the half.
If I'm Skyline, I run very conservative plays and just make sure I go to the locker room with at least a 2-possession lead.
Absolutely. The Raiders take their second timeout. Why don't we take a break? Our score, Skyline 13, Sachse nothing. Back from timeout, second down and 20 here for the Raiders. Fakes the handoff. Gardner's in trouble again. He throws it out. Wide receiver screen. Boy, but the Mustang defenders play that one well, and a big pop right there. And they're going to drop number 15 of the Raiders, Dominique Shellman, for no gain.
Sachse.
And the Mustangs going to use their first.
All of a sudden, on 3 consecutive plays, the pass rush for Sachse has been dominating. Quentin Brown this time got through, and all of a sudden, they're just getting free on the rush here. And the quarterback, of course, they had the right call on the screen to the far side, but Sachse, with their speed, covered it well. I like the fact they found a pass rush. That's going to help them out in the second half, too.
And, Scott, I'm going to go back to what you said just a minute ago. You've got a 3rd down and 20, and let's see if the Raiders either come back with a draw right here or even a middle screen. You know, let those Sachse, you know, that front line come through and then just pop off a little middle screen there. Let's see if they come back with either one of those plays. The other thing you would do is, you know, have to have the Mustangs, if they can stop them here, use another timeout.
Let me give you another suggestion. Sometimes an interception can be as good as a punt, as I like to say. How about throwing it 30 yards downfield, try and get the first down and a completion, and if it's picked off, so what? It's as good as a punt.
It's a good point there. You also have the potential of a pass interference call.
Or you could quick kick this, you know.
Yeah, it's 3rd down here and 20. And no quick kick here. Gardner's stepping up. He's going to throw it out. He's got a man down the sideline. Does he make the catch?
Yeah.
He does. And you know what? It's going to be 4th down and 8, but Skyline may go for it here.
Yeah, now they're close enough to where you can go for it. I mean, even if you don't get it, Sachse's going to start at their 35, which is no big deal. Watch the job this Jackson does to get 1 foot down. That wasn't an easy catch. A lot of Velton's throws are high tonight. We've seen a lot of reaching catches. These Skyline receivers have good hands to make these catches. How many drops have we seen? I can't remember a one to this point.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I don't remember one either. And here we go, 4th down and about 8. As we said, the Raiders going for it here.
Working that play clock one more time.
Yeah, down to 5. Of course, the game clock not moving.
Yeah, good point.
There's the snap. Gardner looking to throw it. He's going to try to escape up. He's in some trouble. He's going to go down. And that's the one thing you don't want to happen is a sack, because now the Mustang's going to get it at the 43.
Krasnicki looked like got it there. Also there was Hunter Spears, who's really come alive on this possession. Again, if you want to try and find something that hopefully will carry over to the second half, pass rush. Quarterback's been able to stand back there and survey the field up until this possession. All of a sudden, Sachse just took this game over defensively. And now they could use a little offense here. They do have 2 timeouts left in 1:26, so that's at least enough to get you into field goal range. Jeffrey Pace with a pretty good leg.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'll go mention it again. That's probably the first mistake that the sophomores made tonight. Again, he should have just gotten rid of that ball instead of taking the sack. The handoff goes to Cole up the middle, and he's going to be tracked down from behind by the senior defensive end for the Raiders, Dorian Andrews.
Timeout. Sachse,
and
that's their second.
Because the play didn't work, Sachse took an immediate timeout.
Yeah, that is going to be their second charge timeout of the half. Why don't we just keep it here? Boy, pretty good first half of play here, but you know, a little bit of surprise and I guess shock from, as we mentioned, the home crowd here, as they thought their Mustangs were going to come out here and just really blow out the Raiders. And Skyline's done a really good job tonight, Scott, and they hold the advantage in yardage here in this first half.
Yeah, Sachse's had, you know, a couple of good possessions, but yeah, I'm a little surprised they've only got 144 yards. It seems like Sachse has more than that, just 9 first downs. As you said, when have they ever been shut out for a half?
Yeah, we're a 1:20 away from that happening if they can't get anything going here. That was a gain of 4 on that last run by Cole. Again, the Mustangs with only 1 timeout, 2nd down and 6. There's the snap. Maiden looking to throw it. Here comes pressure, and he escapes it. Boy, nice job by Maiden, but here it comes deep. He's going to throw it downfield, and that's going to go out of bounds, I believe. Let's see if they call it a catch. And they do!
Oh, wow, I want to see the replay here. But give Wilson all the credit. This is a circus catch, and I can't believe he even got a foot down, but maybe he did.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
GRS TV, come through one more time here.
There's the throw. Here's Wilson.
No.
Oh, my goodness.
How can you, the official just totally blew that call.
He blew that call.
But you know what? We do not have instant replay. You can't review it. You can't change the call.
Timeout.
Did they put it on the big screen here at the stadium? I don't think they did.
Final timeout of the half.
So, I mean, obviously half of his foot was out of bounds. It wasn't even close. Now, in the official's credit, in his defense, it was the head linesman, Jimmy Byram. It looked like he had 2 defenders between him and Wilson, who caught the ball. In other words, he may have been blinded and blocked on the play to where he really didn't get a good view. Well, you know, ask for some help. Maybe somebody else saw it. Maybe the back judge probably was over on that side and had a view into it, but it was so obviously out of bounds, it wasn't even close.
Yeah, it wasn't. So the Mustangs catch a bit of a break here, and let's see if they can turn that into points here as we are 1:09 away from halftime. That could be the spark that they need.
Good point. You need some breaks sometimes. That's a major break. Now, right now, it would be a 46-yard attempt if they don't get any further. But, you know, 1:09 is a lot of time with a hurry-up offense and 1 timeout.
Absolutely. So we are back from the Raiders' final timeout of the half. There's a snap. Maiden looking to throw it. Throws it across the middle. Looks and finds Shelton. And guess what? One play after the big play, a touchdown for the Mustangs.
And when's the last time we called Nate Shelton's name? I think only one other time tonight on a deep crossing route where they couldn't make the connection. I said that's how he makes most of his big plays. And you saw it right here. Once he catches it, he turns on that lightning speed. And he's hard to catch right down the middle of the field. He's been doing it all year long. The kid's got an incredible amount of touchdowns, 12 as a receiver coming into this game. That's more than one a game.
There's a snap and hold. The kick is up. It looks good, and it is good. So a look at number 3, Nate Shelton, fired up on the sideline for the Mustangs as they cut into the lead. Our score with 1:03 remaining in the half. The Skyline Raiders 13, the Sachse Mustangs 7. We'll be back after these messages. Look at Nate Shelton on the sideline after his touchdown reception cuts the lead to 13-7. The Raiders still on top, but the Mustangs now clearly with momentum.
13 of his 41 catches this year have gone for touchdowns. That's a pretty good percentage.
Absolutely. The high end-over-end kick is going to come down right at the 17-yard line, and a fair catch was called for and made by number 25 that time of the Raiders, Christopher Collins. And be interesting to see what the Raiders elect to do here with no timeouts remaining. Scott, you and I were talking about it there at the break.
Some of the more intelligent conversations happen off the air here at GRS TV. I think they're going to run a fairly simple play, maybe a short pass or a running play, see if it breaks for something, and then they may want to hustle up and try and get this downfield. But with 1:03 and no timeouts, it's going to take a huge play early to make this work.
Mustangs, of course, with one timeout remaining, so I think whatever happens on this play, we'll decide whether they use their final timeout or not. And the handoff does go to Hudson, breaks 2 tackles, gets across the 25 to about the 26, so a nice gain of about 8 yards on the play, and I don't think Sachse's going to call a timeout on that.
The key is Skyline going to hurry up? And right now they're just kind of wandering around looking to the sideline. Sachse has more of an offense that can do this. You know, they have that hurry up. Skyline doesn't hurry as quickly as Sachse does. But here they go, pretty quick here.
There's a snap. The handoff once again to Hudson up the middle, and he's going to push forward close to the first down, but I think he's about a yard shy.
Let me mention something. I'm going to go check out our other games. Do we have Lakeview on the screen? Yeah, Lakeview. We can give you a score here in just a second. But I'm also going to go check out that Jesuit Name and Force game at halftime, and I'll give you a report when we start the second half, all right?
Absolutely.
That's going on right now over at Jesuit. Looky here, 17-14, slim 3-point lead for Lakeview. Lake Collins got a good program. I'm not surprised they're hanging in there.
Raiders not content to run another play. They're going to let the clock run out, and that is a wrap here of the first half at Williams Stadium. It's been a great game, and our score at the end of 2 quarters, the Skyline Raiders 13, the Sachse Mustangs 7. We'll be back after these messages. Back at halftime at Williams Stadium with our halftime score, Skyline 13, Sachse 7. Now sit back and enjoy a memorable performance by the award-winning Swingsters, followed by the Sachse High School Mustang Band.
Swingster Sergeants are First Sergeant Davina Hernandez, Senior Sergeant Taylor Gibbons, Junior Sergeant Madison Bradfield, Elena Gold, and Haley McNeil. Happy birthday, Haley. The Swingster managers are Megan Bannister and Kirsten Gillespie. Tonight, the Swingsters will be performing a poem routine to Pretty Fly. Swingsters are under the direction of Liz Whitney Walker. The Swingsters are the leader, Taylor Gibbons and Madison Sherry. The Swingsters Miss High Kick is Sarah Alexander. Miss Jump Split is Vanessa Reyes. And Miss Drill Team is Kiana Moore. Ladies and gentlemen, your Sachse High School Swingsters. The Sachse High School Mustang Band is proud to present our halftime performance. Tonight, under the field direction of drum major Marcos Arcenega, assistant drum majors Megan Benitez, Eva Getzi, and Mallory Wood. The band will perform Movement 1 of our 2016 contest show, The Land of 1,000 Dances. The band directors are the great Holly Taylor, Kevin McDonald, and John Robinson. Color guard staff includes Taylor Tucker and Adriana Cruz. The band would like to thank the band boosters, the Sachse High School administration, and Bob Barker for all their help and hard work on our behalf. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Sachse High School Mustang Band. Congratulations to the Sachse Mustangs band.
Back for the start of the third quarter here at Williams Stadium in this bi-district playoff game between Skyline and Sachse. 13-7 our score. The Raiders on top. And before we get the third quarter kickoff here, let's see a little bit of highlights from the first half.
We'll have the stats shortly. Very even on the stats, but back to the highlights.
See both teams coming on the field. Look at the Sachse cheerleaders here. Getting ready to cheer on their team, the Swingsters. And here we go. Here's our first highlight. Of course, the touchdown run for Belton Gardner. That was the first score of the game. Then you're going to see the second score here come on the nice pass to Jarvis Williams.
Remember the missed point after that first touchdown, which could be key in the second half.
Tony Krasnicki, one of his many big plays on defense here. You're going to see another play by Krasnicki right there. He had a big first half on defense.
The rush really picked up as the half went on.
There's a touchdown throw to Shelton. Got the Mustangs back in the game.
First half stats, Sachse 11 first downs, 202 yards. More in a moment.
There's a kick. It's going to come down to the 20-yard line and returned out to the 28-yard line by number 25, Christopher Collins, and that's where the Raiders will start.
Sachse's rusher 70 yards, 4.4 a carry, 3 penalties. By the way, 132 passing. Just 3 penalties for 35. The other team only 4 penalties for 27. Part of the reason why this has been a good football game. The officials haven't gotten too involved. Now Skyline 12 first downs, 193, just a little bit under Sachse. That's 124 through the air, 69 on the ground, just 3 yards a carry for Skyline. We'll have individuals here as we go along. Maiden, well, might as well go ahead. Maiden, the Sachse quarterback, 10 of 14, 132, a touchdown, no interceptions. Christian Cole, 8 for 58 rushing, 7 yards a carry. Maiden, 8 for 12. Drew Jackson, 3 catches, 38 yards. Nate Shelton, 2 for 35, but one of those was the touchdown. And quickly, we've got a timeout, so I'll finish these stats. Belton Gardner for Skyline, 9 of 12 for 124 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions. Gardner, also the leading rusher, as he is on the season, 10 carries, 30 yards, 1 touchdown. Jordan Hudson, the receiver running back combination, 10 for 24. Jarvis Williams, our leading receiver, has 5 catches for 72 yards. Keep that in mind. 14.5 a catch. And Jordan Hudson, I mentioned him, has just 1 for 21. And turnovers, none for each team. And again, only 7 penalties. A very clean, well-played game, Steve.
Boy, you saw head coach Derek Roberson. He was irate on the sideline as the play clock got down inside of 5 seconds. They had to burn a timeout.
After a kickoff, that's inexcusable. You just don't see it very often.
So 1st and 10 at the 29 here. The Raiders, of course, already used a timeout. Quick throw on a slant. Boy, a nice throw and catch. And if he would have kept that ball up a little bit higher, number 14 for the Raiders is still running. That's Carlton Shellman. And as it turns out, a gain of 8.
Yeah, both teams using their speed right down the field. You had the Shelton touchdown right down the middle. Almost had another one right down the middle. So these two teams love the middle passes to get their speed open.
2nd down and 2. There's a snap. They're going to run to the right side. Quarterback going to keep it himself, and he is going to be upended after a gain of only a yard. I believe that was number 90, the sophomore Hunter Spears, in on the tackle. It was indeed. And a Skyline injured player here.
You know, we hadn't seen many of those tonight. Very few. This might be the first time we've had a timeout for an injury.
Yeah, and I say one injury. They've got 2.
Wow.
The other one is the quarterback, Belton Gardner, and that is not going to be good if he cannot come back in the game.
Looks like he's trying to stretch it out, as you saw with the trainer there. Looks like something he might recover from pretty easily. Hunter Spears, great pursuit down the line. That's what you like out of a defensive end. He pursues down the line, straight down the line, and then cuts off the back right as he hits the hole.
Boy, you saw there right at the end of the replay, and this is what happens so many times on these offensive linemen, is he got rolled up on, I believe it was number 50, and it is indeed who got rolled up on by the quarterback, Gardner, and that's where both injuries have occurred. And you see number 50 coming off the field right now.
But you see how Gardner's walking his off. The other one, the lineman, Collins, limping much more noticeably on 275 pounds. Probably doesn't help when you're limping. It's a lot more weight to carry around.
Absolutely. The new quarterback in the game, number 9, Terrion Randolph. And he's going to hand it off. Boy, nothing doing on that 3rd down and 1 play. Matter of fact, it's going to go for a yard loss as the handoff went to Hudson, and he can't find a hole.
We may look back on that as a huge stop. Remember, coaches put a lot of significance on that opening series of the second half and a quick 1-2-3 out, including a 3rd and short where Sachse stacks him up. That might be a huge momentum builder, especially if the Mustangs can go the other way here and take their first lead. And again, a missed extra point right now could be huge. It's only a 6-point margin instead of 7.
That first down play, if you remember, netted 8 yards, so they had 2nd and short and 3rd and short, couldn't pick it up. So here's the kick. Boy, nice kick as they kick it away from Alexander. He's going to try to pick it up, and boy, I tell you what, 3 Skyline Raiders there to drop him in a hurry. So 1st and 10 at the 22 for the Mustangs.
That's one reason to put duo safeties back. If you're looking for a return especially, he had to run that down all the way to the other hash mark. So by the time he gets there, that coverage team is down there and on top of him, and it just breaks down any blocking you might have had. But that's why a lot of teams will run the dual safeties on punts.
So the Mustangs come back out on offense. The defense does their job, a 3 and out for the Raiders. And here we go on offense. Empty backfield. They're going to send Cole in motion, fake the handoff. Quarterback Maiden going to keep it himself. And boy, he takes a big hit by the linebacker, number 16, Garyon Fuller. He is a 6'1", 210-pound junior. And a nice play, a gain of only 3 for Maiden.
And Fuller came in tall and looked like some kind of a rodeo move. Like it looked like he might pull out a rope and tie him after he tried the what do you call the necktie tackle there.
There you go. Maiden looking to throw it, throws it out to Christian Cole, the running back. He's got 2 defenders there, and boy, nice play in the open field out there by the corner for the Raiders, and it holds Cole to a gain of only about 4. It's going to set up 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, this is bread and butter Sachse football. Look, Maiden was looking further downfield. This was a safety valve, dropping it off to Cole, and great open field tackle. Mr. 16, again, having a big night for Skyline.
Yeah, Cameron Farr, and here comes the quick throw out, and oh, Wilson was able to grab it. Shoestring catch made by Wilson down the sideline. And he gets a first down inside Raider territory.
3rd and 2. You'd have to punt it away if you don't get it. That's a huge play.
Yeah, watch the catch here, Scott, as he's able to pick it up off the shoestrings.
Yeah, he almost lost his balance leaning forward on the play. That was not an easy play. It should have been a lot easier than it was.
Boy, handoff to Cole, and he breaks 2 tackles. He's going to head towards the end zone. That's a touchdown, Mustangs.
You know, Christian's got deceptive speed, but if you get him out in the open like that, he can really turn on the afterburners. When you can beat a Skyline secretary to the pylon, you've got pretty good speed on your own. They always have good speed defensively. Of course, the broken tackle, nice little downfield block there.
Big run for Christian Cole, and the Mustangs an extra point away from taking the lead just like that. If you remember, this was a 13-0 ball game in the late stages of the first half.
How about a 72-yard drive in only a minute and 13 seconds?
An extra point is good from Jeffrey Pace, and we do indeed have a Mustang lead for the first time tonight. There's a look at Christian Cole on your screen coming off on the sideline. Our new score, the Mustangs 14, the Raiders 13. We'll be back after these messages. Boy, fireworks from Christian Cole and the Mustang running attack as he scores on a long touchdown run to give the Mustangs their first lead of the game. And a high end-over-end kick is going to be taken at around the 25 by number 25. He gets hit and dropped after a gain of only 1 on the return. And that's where the Raiders will start this next possession.
What is it about Sachse running backs and great names? Christian Cole, Divine Ozigbo. I mean, how many times last year I would say, what a divine play from Divine. I think he's at Nebraska now, by the way.
That is correct.
Getting a little playing time from what I hear.
Yeah, he's having a good year for the Cornhuskers. You're exactly right.
It's not easy as a freshman at a program as good as that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think he's a freshman. Yeah, last year he played here, right?
I believe that is correct. 1st and 10 here for the Raiders. Let's see if they can do anything here on this first down. The throw from the new quarterback again in the game, number 9, Terrion Randolph. And, boy, a lot of pressure that time, and he's going to throw it away.
Makes you wonder where Mr. Velton is. He's not on the field. Remember that during the year they would – now here he comes, just as I say that. He is in the game, and they're lining him up wide to the right at this point. But they like to move him around. When he's not playing quarterback, he's playing a significant role somewhere in the offense. And this quarterback that's in there, Terrion, has seen a lot of playing time. They've used 2 quarterbacks in almost every game this season. So don't think this kid is, there's going to be snap problems or anything. He's used to the center.
2nd down 10. And quarterback back in the game. The sophomore in trouble. He's going to try to throw it deep. Boy, he just throws that up, and that is not a good play as Nick Alexander almost comes up with the interception.
He also took a pretty good hit after he. That's the classic example of throwing it up for grabs. I'm sure the coach would not like to see that again. You just don't heave it at the last second like this to get it. If you want to, heave it to the sideline, not right down the middle of the field.
Boy, once again, that was Tony Krasnicki with the pressure, and they just don't have an answer for him on the Skyline offensive line.
And it all started on Skyline's final possession of the first half. All of a sudden, that pass rush came alive, and I said it'd be nice if that would carry over to the second half, and obviously it has.
Yeah, so far it indeed has. You are correct. 3rd down and 10.
Nice thing is, Steve, sometimes they're doing it without having to blitz. A lot of times they're getting just a straight pass rush.
You're exactly right. Big 3rd down play here. They are bringing the blitz this time, and the quarterback in a lot of trouble. He's going to go down. No chance for number 1, Velton Gardner on that one.
Yeah, it was all out, tackle to tackle, and there's not enough blockers to handle the number that was coming, as you'll see on the replay. Look at that. He had nowhere to even escape. He was looking to escape and couldn't.
Number 7, Rico Jeffers put the initial pressure, but the tackle comes from number 90, Hunter Spears.
Hunter Spears has had a heck of a night since that possession late in the second half. He and Krasnicki are controlling that line, but yeah, Jeffers is always around. He's got so much speed at that linebacker. He's like a defensive back in a way with big size.
So 4th down and 15, and the Raiders looking to punt. A low line drive punt is going to bounce. Boy, this is going to be returnable here as Alexander loses the ball. And is he able to fall back on it?
Yes.
Yeah, he does indeed. And, man, I'm not even sure anybody hit him. I think he just lost that on his own.
Well, let's see what GRS TV can do for us and answer that question, Steve. When you know this will be the one time we don't have one. Here we go.
It comes.
Hey, don't give up on him too soon there.
See, he takes it here. Watch. I think he just, his own player.
He loves to hesitate on those. Yeah, it really wasn't much of a fumble. He got lucky. Yeah, he just had to drop right down on it. Living the good life.
Absolutely. Good field position here on this possession. However, the handoff to Christian Cole, and he's going to be tackled after a short gain of only 1. So a better job that time by the Raiders to find Mr. Cole and make the tackle.
I thought that defensive stand was huge to keep the momentum going. Now a touchdown here. You might go for 2. I don't know. Extra point, making an 8-point lead.
There's a snap. Throw to Shelton, the quick throw, and led him just a little too far and out of the outstretched reach of Shelton.
Kind of strong-armed it, too. I mean, Maiden can really throw it when he wants to. I'm not sure that ball's catchable just from the speed that he threw it. You got to let up a little bit. I mean, he really fired that football.
Yes, he did. Tried to get it in that tight window, and he leads him just a little much. 3rd down and 9. This is a big play for the Skyline defense here.
Yes.
They've been under attack here early in the 3rd quarter. And the quick throw out, Wilson with the catch. He's got a lot of room out here, and he makes a move, and the spot is going to be at the 41, so he's going to be 2 yards shy of the first down, but I would be willing to bet you Coach Barron's going to go for it here.
Well, yeah, you are in Skyline territory, but I wouldn't be surprised either way, but I think I'd go for it. 4th and 2. If it was 4th and 9, 10, I'd punt it.
Nice job by the corner there to force him out of bounds and set up this 4th down play.
Yeah, it really was, because that corner was on an island. I mean, that's one-on-one. He didn't get the tackle, but he got him out.
Maiden going to keep it himself. He's going to have the first down and more. Finally tripped up at around the 36, but that is a 5-yard gain. And he comes out of it. Are they calling him down, or is that going to be a touchdown?
I don't see any whistles. A referee is pointing to the ground, but not, usually they'd be signaling stop the clock at this point.
Yeah, they're going to discuss it here.
Wow, GRS TV come through for us one more time here.
Let's see what the call. It's a touchdown.
Skyline coaches are right next to us, and they just pounded the tabletop over here. Not happy with that. Hopefully we're going to get a replay out of this. Here we go.
See if his knee was down here. You're going to see him be hit here, and he goes down, and is he? Oh, he's down.
Oh, my goodness, he was down. That's two really bad calls we've had tonight that have both gone Sachse's way. They're living the good life.
Yes, they are. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So our new score was 7:14 remaining here in the third quarter. The Sachse Mustangs 21. The Skyline Raiders 13.
I don't think Skyline has these replays in their booth, or they might really be upset right now.
Yeah, it certainly appeared that Maiden's knee was down on that play. But you know what? Let's give credit to Maiden as he never gave up on it. He gets back up, runs, and, of course, they didn't blow it dead. So a touchdown for the Mustangs. Here's a look at it one more time.
Now, let's be fair. Let's see if we definitely see his knee go down. I'm not sure we got definitive. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. You figure it kind of has to be down, don't you? It's kind of dark in there, though. It's kind of hard to see definitely, you know, in my opinion.
Plus his elbow is down with the ball as well.
Is that our director we just heard in our ear? He's saying, he's down, he's down.
Yeah, I think they got away with another one there. So, but again, they'll take it. Give credit to Maiden for, you know, continuing on the run there. And, you know, he's fooled the officials. So, another touchdown. I'll tell you what, after a lackluster, really, first half for the Mustangs, they've come out firing on all cylinders here through the first 5 minutes of this quarter.
Nate Shelton gave them the jump start, and then the defense took over late in the half, and it carried over to the second half.
High end over end kick, going to be taken at the 20-yard line. Boy, look at this return. This could get Skyline some momentum back. As out across the 40 to the 45, still on his feet, down to the 48. A nice return for number 25, Christopher Collins, and that will hopefully get the Raiders back going again.
27 yards on the return. I think I'm thinking he just didn't feel like he had enough speed, because he could have cut this outside of the sideline and cut it back up the middle, so maybe he does not have the blinding speed and realizes it, you know. See, right here, you'd think he'd go outside, but I just think he couldn't outrun him, and he knew it.
Well, I tell you what, after look at the replay, it may have missed a face mask call there as well. But anyway, the Raiders with good field position. The quick pitch back to Hudson. He's got some good running room here. Boy, and he takes on Isaiah Humphreys and picks up a couple extra yards. That's a nice gain of 8.
Yeah, another play where Sachse got the benefit of the doubt and 2 huge missed calls. But isn't that what home field advantage is all about?
Yes, it is. So far, so good.
Yeah, I think the officials probably came from another chapter outside of this area. I don't recognize any of the names, so I'm not insinuating anything.
Absolutely not. The handoff up the middle this time to number 5, Jordan Hudson. And tell you what, there's not much in the middle against this Mustang defense. A gain of 1. It's going to set up 3rd down and short again.
Yeah, pretty good stop there. And now on 3rd and 1, this might be 4-down territory. I don't know.
Take a look at this last one. See, they're trying up the middle, but there's just nothing there.
No, I mean, it's not just one guy closing. There's 2 or 3 guys closing. No chance.
3rd down and 1. The Mustangs have 8 in the box. There's the snap. They're going to try to get outside. Boy, he picks up a good block by his running back, but cannot get outside. Is number 8 for the Mustangs with the big tackle, Jacoby DeLoach. And it looks like the quarterback Gardner is down again.
And he lost a little bit, so it's 4th and longer. And it looks like they're going to send the punt unit on as we get a look at Gardner.
Well, I beg your pardon. That was number 7, Rico Jefferson, came across.
Yeah, that's Jeffers' speed right there.
But again, more importantly for the Raiders, Belton Gardner is hurt.
Folks, trust me, Rico Jeffers will be playing college football somewhere next year and maybe a lot on television. He is something else.
Taking a look at Gardner's ankle there.
Right ankle, yeah, not looking good. And look at squirming means that as they continue to probe it, he is in a lot of pain, and that's not good. Now, they do have the advantage of having 2 quarterbacks who have played all year, so. But this is considered to be the better quarterback, as we've seen from him all night.
Yes, we have. Here's a look at it again. You're going to see Jeffers dive across here.
Now, letting him walk on it is a good sign, Steve, because that means they feel like he might be able to walk it off, or they wouldn't let him walk that much on his own.
Boy, he is walking gingerly, though. Hopefully he can get back in this ball game. He is a good-looking athlete, a sophomore for the Raiders.
And really the key to this offense. So the straw that stirs the drink would be the way it's been put for years. Without him, where would they be, in other words?
Yep, you're absolutely right.
I know you can say that about most quarterbacks. With some teams, it's even more important, that quarterback. Jalen Maiden. Where would Sachse be without Jalen Maiden?
That's a good point. 4th down, the Mustangs not taking any chances, don't send a return man back, and the punt is going to bounce at the 5, go into the end zone for a touchback. So the Mustangs will start this possession at their own 20.
Now, to follow that thought up, Sachse's to a point now where they got their program in pretty good shape. You know, if they didn't have a Jalen Maiden, I think, you know, they would still have a pretty good football team, but I think he's part of the reason, you know, part of the thing that puts them over the top.
There's a look at Gardner on the sideline as they're taking a look at him. It looked to be the right ankle. He's going to try to get back in this game. Again, the Raiders not out of this thing, you know, after everything that's gone wrong here, you know, from late in the second quarter and so far here in the third, they're still within 1 possession of this game. And the handoff to Christian Cole, that is going to be a loss of 5 yards. So again, the Raiders defense steps up big here. Big hit by number 4, Dorian Andrews, the senior defensive end. He's had a nice game here tonight.
And you said it, it's a 1-possession game still. Skyline still has as good a chance of anybody to win this game.
Double stack formation here as the Mustangs come out. 2nd down and 10. Boy, and that was almost picked off. Big linebacker, number 16.
Wow.
Gary and Fuller steps in front of that thing and almost picks it off. He was looking for Nate Shelton, but that was an ill-advised throw.
Yeah, he's a little bit in the Rico Jeffers style of play. He's all over the field. We've called his name all night long. Yeah, I think he may have just gotten a fingertip on it to throw Nate off a little bit. Remember, that's the Shelton play that can go big at any time.
3rd down, 15. Maiden looking to throw. Here comes pressure. He's going to have to step up. Can he get out of it? No, he cannot. So a good defensive stand here for the Raiders, a gain of only about 6 for Maiden. It's going to set up 4th and 9. They're going to have to punt.
Yeah, have to, this deep in your own territory.
Here's a look at that last replay. Once again, coming from that defensive end position is Andrews.
Let's give that secondary credit again. How many times have we said that about the Skyline secondary? They obviously cover very well.
They definitely did on that possession, so the Mustangs going to have to punt it away, and Skyline should come out of this with pretty good field position.
Not often tonight have you seen Malin drop, set, and throw quickly because he's had to survey the field all night. He can't find anybody open.
Number 2 for the Raiders, Latrell Jackson set back to return. It gets blocked. That is a punt block, and the Raiders going to be in great shape here as they're going to take over 1st and 10 inside the 5. Ball's still loose, but it's not going to matter. It's Raiders ball.
Doesn't matter who recovers it. You just don't want them to recover it in the end zone.
So a 1st and goal coming up here for the Raiders, and that's just the spark they needed.
Now you start thinking, do you start chasing points? You're going to get 6 probably out of this. Do you just kick the extra point and not chase points this early? Don't be surprised if they don't go for 2. But then again, don't be surprised if they do.
They're going to mark that ball at the, looks like the 2.5-yard line, Scott, from the best as I can tell.
First turnover of the night, Steve? I'm pretty sure.
It is.
This could be a killer right here.
So 1st and goal, and let's see who's in at quarterback, and it is going to be number 9. Terrion Randolph, so Belton Gardner still on the sideline. And
well, let's make sure he's not on the field. You know, he can line up at other positions, but not in the backfield. Yeah, he's on the bench somewhere.
Split backs in the backfield. They're going to hand it off to number 5, trying to get across through the right. Boy, and I tell you what, this is going to be a tough 2 yards.
Steve, sorry to interrupt, but I was anxious. They're working on Gardner's ankle still over there on the bench, so he ain't going to be back anytime real soon, at least not on this possession.
No gain on that play. They were trying to run outside Jordan Hudson, and like I was mentioning, it's going to be tough sledding to even get these 2 yards. That Sachse front 7 has done a great job tonight.
Let me tell you one key with Gardner. When they get out the ice, you know he's in trouble. No ice yet. They're trying to wrap it and get him in shape.
Quarterback sneak trying to get in the end zone. The ball has come loose. Sachse comes out with it. That is a fumble recovery by number 8 of the Mustangs, Jacoby Deloach.
All right, GRS TV, let's get this replay and see what happened. See if it was a good call or not. You know, every bad call is gone for Sachse tonight. Let's see if this is a good call. We can't tell anything. That scrum is major.
Yeah, there's the ball.
It popped out up top, didn't it? Well,
yes, it did.
Unless they blew the whistle, that would kill the play. If they didn't blow the whistle, he didn't appear down, did he?
He did not.
Not showing it on the screen to the fans, but we're seeing it here in the booth.
Yeah, we've got an injured Skyline Raider down, and yeah, we've seen no official ruling as of yet, but I think they're going to let that play stand. Of course, coach for the Raiders out there. And
all the way out to the middle of the field, which I don't quite understand how you can allow a head coach to go all the way to the middle of the field and see the referee.
Well, more importantly, one of the injured players, boy, he's up on his feet, so a good sign for the Raiders. Number 65, able to walk it off.
I think what's happening with the injury, I guess the coaches and the trainers can all come out maybe, and that's how he got away with going to see the referee. Not happy with that call. We didn't see anything that said it was a bad call, but then again, if this was the NFL instant replay, I don't think we saw anything to, you know what I'm saying? We couldn't really tell by the replay what happened in there.
Absolutely not. We don't have that end zone shot. Of course, I'm sure the Raiders saying that either it should have been whistled down, or even perhaps a touchdown before the ball came out.
But again, Steve, every call going for Sachse, the big calls.
Yes, they are. The handoff to Keelan Wilson on first down. He's going to get out across the 10 to about the 12-yard line, so that is a gain of 5 on first down. And a nice play.
And even if they got that last call right, you know, that Skyline coaching staff starting to wonder, gosh, what do we have to do to get a call here, to get a break here? Everything is going Sachse's way.
Empty backfield here on second down. There's a quick throw to Shelton. Boy, nice play there. And there's a penalty flag late. And I'll tell you what, it looked like defensive holding. But they're going to call holding on the offense. So that may be the break that you're talking about.
Yeah, it was deep in the offensive line and not where Shelton had it tipped away. That was a good defensive play. Again, if they can ever get that complete, it's got a chance to go the distance every time. That's Nate Shelton's specialty, right down the middle. He's almost, you know, stopped when he catches it, and then his burst of speed is so quick. It's real deceptive how he does it.
So it's going to be a holding on the offense.
Holding on the offense, number 70. After this to the goal, second down.
Yeah, it certainly looked like the linebacker had a hold of Shelton's jersey, is why I thought they were going to perhaps get a defensive holding call, but it does go against the offense, and that's going to back them up inside the 10 once again, sets up 2nd and 11.
Yeah, it looks like the 6-yard line, 12 to the 6, approximately.
There's a snap. Here comes pressure. Boy, Maiden throws it in a hurry, but that play was doomed from the start as once again the man they've had no answer for thus far in the second half, Dorian Andrews, from his defensive end position.
Yeah, their ends have had a good game, especially early. When I was mentioning all the linebackers make their tackles, their ends have been a force tonight. Yeah, the receiver wasn't even expecting it. Wilson didn't even know the ball was coming. He just unloaded that at Keelan's feet.
There's a look at the 6'2", 195-pound senior for the Raiders. A big third down play here, 3rd and 11.
I'd do something very safe here.
And penalty, and no, actually we're going to get a timeout. I thought a penalty flag was thrown.
Play. Timeout, Sachse. That's their first.
But a timeout called here by the Mustangs. And I tell you what, why don't we just keep it here, Scott, and just talk a little bit more about this game?
Look at what Lakeview's done, by the way, on the other game. They were up 27-21 at the half, right? Well, they've already scored 14 in the second half early, and they lead it now 41-21. Lakeview Centennial over Lake Highlands. We're at a key juncture in this game. That's why I'm saying I'd like to see a safe call here on 3rd and long. You're inside your own 10-yard line. You don't want to make a huge mistake down here. And, you know, you almost handed Skyline 6 points a second ago, and they couldn't score. Remember, I said they're starting at the 2. They're probably going to get 6 out of this. They did not get 6 because they gave it right back. So you don't want a disastrous result like that down here in your own territory. I'd almost do a quick punt. Just get the ball out of there, or run a safe draw, or, you know, something safe. They got away with it once. I don't think they're going to get away with it twice if they turn it over again down here.
Yep, and on the Skyline sideline, it looked like perhaps they're trying to tape the ankle of starting quarterback Veldon Gardner.
Yeah, they've been working on it and hadn't gotten the ice out yet. Yeah, the tape is going.
3rd down and 11. As you've got Christian Cole in the backfield. The trips look to the top of your screen. One receiver down at the bottom. Now empty backfield as you see the running back come out. And here's the quarterback draw. And is Maiden going to get there? He is. Boy, there's a block in the back, however. And I don't see a penalty flag, so they're going to get away with that one too, it looks like.
Skyline staff on the sideline not showing a lot of emotion, it looks like, so I think they agree with the call. A lot of times in those situations, I like to see what the coaches are doing, and they weren't arguing the lack of call here. Let's see. I'm not saying you're wrong either, by the way.
Yeah, watch that play right there.
That's a block in the back. Pretty violent one, too. They just missed it.
So the handoff to Christian Cole on first down, nets 4 yards, sets up a 2nd down and 6 at the 30-yard line. But more importantly for the Mustangs, it does give them breathing room on that last run from Maiden.
And it was 3rd and long from your own 6-yard line a moment ago. I think they called that all the way a safe quarterback draw, which he is so good at.
Boy, nice play by the quarterback out here for the Raiders as he read that beautifully, beats the block, Scott, and then tackles the wide receiver.
It's a pretty good 5-5 football team here that finished, what, 3rd in their district over there, or 4th in their district, right?
Yeah,
no, they were
Eric,
3rd.
Yeah, 3rd. Watch Eric Green. Boy, doesn't he do a great job there. Gets by the block of Shelton and then shoestring tackle on Drew Jackson. 3rd down and 5 coming up here for the Mustangs.
Big thing is Sachse's had to earn almost everything they've gotten tonight. You know, not a lot of big plays. Skyline's eliminated those.
Makes a handoff, the quick throw out to Jackson, who makes the catch, and he is going to have, it appears, the yardage needed for the 1st down.
It's real close, and the fact it's on the opposite side, they might measure this. Let's see. Nope, they ought to go ahead and signal 1st down. Pretty close. Big 3rd down conversion there.
Yes, it was. Quick throw to Jackson, and boy, again, another good tackle by number 12, Eric Green, but Jackson was right where he needed to be at the sticks, and that moves the chains.
How many times have we said good tackle, good tackle, good? This is a good tackle in defense, obviously.
1st and 10, they're going to hand it off to Keelan Wilson coming to the left side. Boy, and he gets dropped immediately. A big hit on him, and that is the other corner, number 20, Martinez Hill.
Martinez Hill on the stop.
Yeah, this Skyline defense is not shy. Watch this manhandle of a tackle. Wow, just slam him to the ground without much effort, it appeared.
Gain of only 1 as they send Wilson in motion, coming to the right. And here comes some pressure, and Maiden's going to go down. Tries to throw it, but they're going to get it's going to be intentional grounding if they don't get him down.
And Steve, why? Because he did not get it back to the line of scrimmage. He was outside the mark, outside the hash mark, outside the pocket, but when he heaved it short of the 1st down. You've got to get it beyond that mark. Those are some of the keys to beating that penalty.
There's your flag right there. Look at the pressure coming from outside.
Intentional grounding on the offense, number 4. Loss of down, 3rd down.
Yeah, the key to this penalty is the loss of down.
Absolutely. Cameron Rose with that nice play, and now it's going to be 3rd down, about 21 needed for the 1st down.
Yeah, right at 21.
So the Skyline defense still doing the job here. They've got to hold one more play. There's the throw out, a high throw, and it's incomplete. Boy, tried to sneak it in there, but a great job of playing underneath by the linebacker, and that caused Maiden to sell it over the head of number 11, Foster.
And Foster did all he could to catch it, as you might see on the replay. I mean, he left his feet and still couldn't. I don't think he got a finger on it.
Very impressed with Gary Fuller, the linebacker, the junior for the Raiders. He played it perfectly that time.
You know, coming into this game, you would have thought that Skyline needed a low-scoring game. I mean, this is a pretty low-scoring game for nowadays. Skyline only averages 23 points a game. Sachse averages 41 points a game, and this has been Skyline's kind of pace so far tonight.
Yes, it has indeed, and the Mustangs looking to punt it away as we were inside of a minute to go in the 3rd quarter. There is the high kick. Boy, that's a great punt. And that's going to chase the Raiders back inside their own 30. Picks it up at the 29, but he's in a lot of trouble. Escapes the first wave, but then is going to be taken down at around the 42. And again, the question is going to be, are we going to see Gardner at quarterback? And it doesn't look like he's moving off the bench. So quarterback is going to be number 9, Terrian Randolph, and we have an injured Mustang on the field.
47-yard punt. They've gotten a couple of nice ones off tonight. Yeah, the first half of his number, it's really hard to tell. This could be a 90 or something like that.
Well, right at the point of contact is where that young man is down.
Now it's 48-21. Lakeview really laying it on Lake Talk about halftime speeches. Kendall Miller might have had a good one there tonight.
Patriots looking to move on in the playoffs. Of course, made it for the first time in 20 years. And they're looking to make it to the 2nd round. Here's a replay. Let's see if we can pick up the injury. Matter of fact, it looks like the young man that made the tackle is the one who's at the bottom of the pile there and was still not up.
Just remind everybody the winner of this one would get probably the Woodlands, state ranked, playing Mesquite Horn tonight. You had a halftime score there, or when we were at the half, what was it, 14-7?
Yeah, 14-7 at the end of the first quarter is what we had early. So
those two teams will play next week. The winner of this one, the winner of that one. That's expecting a Woodlands-Sachse matchup going into tonight, and both the opponents are making it interesting so far. Don't forget, Rowlett plays Coppell at 1 o'clock tomorrow. They would get the Rockwall-Montgomery winner. Rockwall and Rowlett would be a great matchup for the second time this year, as that's a long-standing battle for Lake Ray Hubbard over there. They seem to play every year, even if they're not in the same district. Naaman Forest is getting beaten by Jesuit pretty heavy tonight, and we mentioned Lakeview. If Lakeview can hang on, they're going to get Beaumont Westbrook or Longview next week.
Wow.
And that's Hunter Spears. He's had a big night. Hopefully he'll be back, because he's been one of the keys for Sachse defensively.
Well, that would be a big loss.
Well, look at him jogging off the field. Looks like he'd probably like to come back right now, but he has to sit out a play.
You're exactly right. Boy, it's amazing that they have him on special teams, but the big man obviously showing his athleticism, and hopefully he will be okay. And the Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 41. We're at 39 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. The Mustangs on top by 8. Snap at the quick throw out. Boy, nice throw by the quarterback. And that's going to be a gain of almost 8 yards, it looks like. They're going to mark him out at the 47.
Yeah, Steve, I just looked. Terry and Randolph, this quarterback, he is 6'6", 200 pounds. He looks bigger than 200 pounds, by the way.
I agree with you 100%, but good throw on that play, and it's actually they're going to mark him out around the 47. So 2nd down and 4. They're looking down the sideline. He floats it in there, but that's not going to be a catch because he stepped out of bounds. You see immediately the linesman's hat off, and so that is not going to be a good catch.
Yeah, that he drops his hat, which says he stepped out. Once he steps out, he's an ineligible receiver, and this should be brought back.
Yeah, I think that's what the call you're going to get right here. They're discussing
Good call
it.
From you, by the way. I didn't see the hat.
Hey, every once in a while I'll catch one. Official still talking about it here. Boy, I tell you what, though, it was a nice throw and a nice catch that time. But again, it's not. Oh, wait a second.
There is no foul for illegal touching. The receiver was forced out of bounds and came back in immediately. First down.
I've seen that before, Steve. If you force him out, I think he can come back, like they said.
So we'll see if we can see it here. You're going to see him go out of bounds here, and I'm not sure he was forced out, but okay.
Well, was there contact there? That's the key.
Yeah, there's the catch there. So a big play for the Raiders.
So finally, one of those calls that could go either way goes in favor of Skyline.
Exactly, and they are in Sachse territory at the 22. There's the snap, looking to throw it again. They're going to throw it out quickly. Oh, and he cannot find his receiver. Receiver not even looking, as number 2, Latrell Jackson, the intended one there.
Talking to Red Barons yesterday, he thinks this Randolph is the better passer of the 2 quarterbacks. He just looks like a pocket passer, 6'6", 200, but he just didn't play much as the year went on because Gardner is so important to him as a passer and a runner. But, when you're down by 8 points, I would, there's a good chance this kid would have played anyway when you're trying to come from behind, since he does throw the ball well, as we've seen already.
Absolutely. 2nd down and 10 after the incompletion. 23 seconds remaining in the third. They're going to send a man in motion. There's the snap. And they throw towards the end zone. They're looking for the fade. A lot of contact down there, but no penalty flags as the pass floats incomplete.
Well, he ran into Nick Alexander, but I'm not sure the receiver didn't just cause the contact. I think the hand exchange, the arm exchange was kind of equal both ways. See what I mean? Again, I think the receiver ran into the defender more than the other way around.
So a good no call there.
And, also was not real catchable either.
Wouldn't be surprised to see him come right back with that. The receiver out there, Tredarius Randolph, is 6'4".
Remember, from this part of the field, this is 4-down territory.
The screen pass is set up. Boy, and the catch is made, but look how quickly the Mustang defense closes on the running back. Jordan Hudson drops him for a loss, and it's going to be 4th down.
again, I think it's 4-down territory, even though it's 4th and 12. You might see a timeout here and talk about what kind of play you want to run. Or you get a free one by the end of the quarter, right?
That's exactly right. And I'll tell you what, why don't we take a quick break with him? We've come to the end of 3 here at Williams Stadium. A good one tonight. Our score, the Mustangs 21, the Raiders 13. Back for the start of the 4th quarter here. It's been a great game tonight at Williams Stadium. Sachse on top 21-13. This is, of course, the Bi-district round of Class 6A, Region 2, Division I. And a 4th down and 12 coming up here. And it looks like the Raiders attempting a field goal. This would be a 42-yarder from the left hash.
Non-quarterback holding.
The kick is up. The distance is there, but is it good? It looks like it's wide left, and it is no good. It is wide to the left. So, again, the kick had the distance, but just not the accuracy.
I think the only reason they tried the field goal was it was 4th and 12. 4th and 2, 4th and 3, I think they would have gone for it without a doubt. You know, what do? You try that long field. Obviously, they felt like he had the leg. You know in pregame whether your kicker has the leg based on where you are and the wind conditions. So they wouldn't have put him out there to kick it if they didn't think he couldn't make it. But, you know, if it was 5 yards longer, you might have seen a pooch punt to try and pin Sachse back. But Sachse's going to, because of a non-pooch, they're going to start at the 25.
Yeah, the other reason you go ahead and try the field goal there, of course, is with the missed extra point, your deficit's at 8. So you go ahead and kick the field goal now, so a touchdown there gives you the lead. And so I don't, blame the Raiders at all for calling it. It was a little long of a field goal, but boy, nice try there.
Which all goes back to the missed extra point earlier in the game on the first possession when they scored.
Saw the first down run there of 5 yards.
You know what Sachse needs here? They need, although they're not really good, their strength is not burning time. They score quickly, and they love to score quickly, but they could use about an 80-yard drive in 6 minutes here.
Maiden looking to throw it deep. He's got a man down the sideline and just overthrows the intended receiver. Number 12, DeAndre Kennedy, I think that was the wheel route down the sideline. Yeah. Just overthrows him.
It's just Jalen's been high all night long. He's just not been sharp. Everything has been high for the most part. That receiver's wide open, folks. I mean, he may not have gone the distance, but that should have been an easy completion. It's just Jalen's slightly off tonight.
So 3rd down and 5 here. A big 3rd down play for the Raider defense. There's the snap. Maiden looking to throw. Here comes pressure. He throws it out quickly. The catch is made. Boy, and just able to make the tackle is the corner out there all alone. Drew Jackson with a nice catch, and that will move the chains.
Sure that wasn't Christian Cole?
I believe that's 9 Drew Jackson.
My eyes are a lot older than yours, and you are correct, young eyes.
Boy, nice catch, and tell you what, if
that's
Jackson,
a huge first down, yeah.
Yeah, and if Jackson keeps his feet there, he is still running. Christian Cole to the right side, busts through, and in Raider territory down to the 44. And a big run that time for Christian Cole, who's had a nice game.
More than anything, they're starting to flip the field a little bit with the 8-point lead. Again, they love to run some time, but it's just not Sachse's strength. They don't have long, time-consuming drives.
Throw out here to number 11, Foster, and he is taken down after a short gain of about 2 yards. So a good play there by the Raider defense. And Raiders just trying to do what they can here defensively to keep the Mustangs from putting more points on the board.
Now, one thing you can do is run that play clock down, stay in bounds. He easily could have gotten out of bounds there. So you can do other things to eat as much time as possible. But here they come quickly with still 22 seconds on the play clock.
Double stack. They're going to send a man in motion. Maiden drops the ball, takes it himself, and he's going to be tripped up at around the 41. Basically gets back to the line of scrimmage. So once again, another 3rd and long, but that was caused by the bobbled snap. Game clock approaching 10 minutes remaining in the game. An 8-point lead here for the Mustangs. 3rd down and 8.
Sachse 5 out of 6 on 3rd down this half. That's why they've been moving the ball so well consistently since halftime.
That is a huge stat in a game like this. Here comes a screen pass set up. The catch is made. Christian Cole, and he is going to pick up the 1st down and more, still on his feet. Boy, look at the run by Cole as he just was not going to go down.
You know what? If we get a good replay here, you don't need an analyst to describe what happened. I'm going to let the picture tell the whole story. Let's get our GR. Here we go with a replay. Just watch this effort by Christian Cole. First of all, they had the screen set up nicely. Good block out in front by a lineman. But watch this. This is just pure effort, folks.
Boy, great job. 1st and 10 at the 24. The snap to Maiden. He's going to take it himself. Quarterback draw. Tries to cut back up, and he's going to be taken down around the 21-yard line. That's a gain of 3 on that 1st down carry.
Thompson on the stop.
Well, Christian Cole, what a game for that young man tonight as he has been running lights out against this Skyline defense. We've got him unofficially 13 carries, 128 yards, and a touchdown, averaging almost 10 yards a carry.
And then with the receptions, what do we have there?
Quick throw out to Nate Shelton as you're looking at those, and he's going to head to the end zone. That's a touchdown, and the Mustangs have extended the lead.
Well, there's the first nail in the coffin, but we still got a lot of time left. Yeah, Cole also with 25 receiving on 4 catches.
Here's a look at that quick throw out.
I think Christian's been your offensive player of the game for Sachse, if you had to name one, although Nate's got 2 touchdowns now. In a fairly low-scoring game, those 2 touchdowns are awfully important.
They absolutely are. So here comes the extra point attempt by Jeffrey Pace. There's a low snap bobbled, and he's not going to get that one off. That one's blocked. Now remember, that's still a live ball, and now they're going to say no good.
Well, you had one to give. I mean, because Skyline missed the extra point earlier, now you just lead by 14. It's not too big of a deal. The key is Sachse needs a defensive stop, and then maybe they could salt this one away with one more defensive stop here.
Take a look at Nate Shelton there on the sideline, and as you mentioned, his 2nd touchdown catch of the game. Really, the big one was the one at the end of the 1st half. You know, they were trailing 13-0, needing a spark, and he caught the touchdown pass with a little over a minute to go, and that was really the big one in this game.
They would have gone to the intermission down 13-0, and the Red Baron speech would have been much louder inside the walls of that locker room if he didn't score right before the half.
Shelton, 3 catches, 56 yards, 2 touchdowns, so averaging about 18.7 yards a catch.
He averages 22 on the year, so that's no surprise.
Now the Mustangs up, of course, by 2 touchdowns, and you know, again, they have just really had the better of the Raiders here in the 2nd half. As again, as you've mentioned several times, Coach Behrens probably gave a very riveting halftime speech.
How about an update on Belton Gardner? He is no longer suited up. He's taking his shoulder pads and helmet off on the far sideline. So it's going to be Darian, the backup, Darian Randolph's game the rest of the way. Not bad, though. Again, he's the better passer. Red Barons believed that before the game, and they're down 14. They're going to have to throw it a lot, so you know, it's not the end of the world. It's good to have 2 quarterbacks, a la Romo and Prescott.
Boy, and the kick comes down to number 28, but he had 1 foot out of bounds. That's Darius Ashley, and so they're going to mark him down at the 13-yard line.
Yeah, it's not a good break there for Skyline. Good directional kick, though, from Pace. He gets a hand from the coaches over here as he arrives at the sideline.
Look at that shot by our camera crew. They got the right foot out of bounds, and that's one of the ones you tell your players, hey, look, if you're that close to the sideline, let it go out.
I love the technology. They also froze it as he stepped out, right?
Absolutely. GRS TV crew, nothing but the best.
Hey, how many times have I called for them tonight? They're always right there when you need them. Sounds like an insurance company.
Sure does. Okay, here we go. The Raiders need something here. Boy, and the pass on the quick slant was just a little behind number 14, Carlton Shellman, and that pass falls incomplete. So it is crunch time here. Here's a look at the replay. Yeah, just a little behind him.
Yeah, he had to completely turn around and just couldn't get it on the turn.
As I said, crunch time here because they trail by 14, and time becoming a enemy of the Raiders here. 8:45 left in the game, and they trail by 2 touchdowns. There's a snap. Boy, no pressure. And there's another slant. This one is caught and then dropped because of the vicious hit by number 21, Micah Buchanan of the Mustangs.
She'll see it here, I'm sure. That's a pretty hard shot, pretty hard throw there, right on target. That might have been the best pass of the night for Randolph, but yeah, great defensive play.
Big hit there by Buchanan, sets up a 3rd down and 10. Let's see if the Mustangs elect to bring pressure here.
Lakeview Centennial now leading 55-21 over Lake Island.
Boy, the pressure comes from number 91 of the Mustangs, Zach Gilson, and he is going to have a big sack in this ball game, as the ball is going to be spotted all the way back at the 5-yard line for a loss of about 8.
And more importantly, they got to punt it away from the 5. The punter will be standing in the end zone, and this game's close to being over. Who would have said that? Well, it's 13-0 late in the 2nd quarter in favor of Skyline.
Yeah, it's been all Sachse, however, here in the 2nd half.
Now, they're those twin safety I was talking about earlier. Remember, they just had 1 back and couldn't really return it. Well, they got 2 back this time, and not expecting a long punt around the 40-yard line.
Boy, the punt is high and short. It's going to be taken at around the 37, and a fair catch was obviously called for and made there by number 23, Isaiah Humphreys. But look at the field position for Sachse on this drive. Good
hang time. I mean, not a bad punt, really 33 with that hang time, but they eliminated the return that way. So I think it's a fairly effective punt, but you know, you're going to give them good field position, period, unless you get a lot. That's part of the reason they had twin safeties back. That way, they know they could get their hands on it and not let it hit and roll past them. That's what would have killed Sachse, would be an extra 20 yards on the roll on the punt.
Absolutely. Great
decision by Behrens or whoever to put that 2nd safety back on the punt.
1st and 10 at the 38 for the Mustangs here on offense. A handoff to Cole up the middle. He busts through the line, gets outside. Nice stiff arm, and then knocked out of bounds at around the 22-yard line.
Well, you're going to see on the replay, I'm going to tell you before you see it, Drew Jackson led this play all the way. Watch this block by Jackson over here on the far sideline. Here it comes. That's what slowed the defender down and got him a few extra yards up that sideline. Or, you know, he could have been tackled a lot earlier in the play if that block wasn't made too.
Inside of 8 minutes to go here in the game. The Mustangs driving once again. And off to Cole, or pardon me, the fake handoff that time. Maiden keeps it to the left side and gets down inside the 20, down to around the 16-yard line for a gain of 6.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier. Now, you know, you want to stay in the middle of the field for 2 reasons. You keep the clock running, but work that clock. Let's start working that clock, working that play clock and the game clock. And the reason to keep it down the middle of the field is you're in pace territory, right down the middle, not a long field goal to up your lead from 14 to 17 if you want to.
And off this time to Cole, and he's going to be tracked down from behind by number 8. A nice play by that young man, Cameron Rose. And he's going to have to go off the field for 1 play as his helmet comes off.
Now you can run a fairly conservative play on 3rd down, because if you don't get it, if you can, I would center the ball. You know, they're going to be on the right hash for this 3rd and short. I would run to the left and at least get it in the center of the field. If you don't get it, you probably got 3 out of Jeffrey Pace and probably the ball game. That would make it a 17-point lead with right now 6:50 and counting.
Let the play clock run down, it looks like, as we are approaching 15 seconds. Now they get lined up, so maybe not as much of the play clock as I suspected. Here's the fake handoff. Maiden keeps it up the middle. It is going to be 4th down.
You see where what they did? They centered the ball. Maiden ran it over left guard, left tackle, and is tackled almost directly in the middle of the field. If you don't get it, you put Pace out there, although it looks like they're going to go for it, doesn't it? I'm very surprised. Of course, a blocked kick and a return would be deadly for the Mustangs, so maybe that's why they're not going to do it here, because, you know, they ran to the left, they centered it. Looked like they were centering it for the kicker there, like I said.
Yeah, I agree with you, but you know, the fact that the starting quarterback for the Raiders on the sideline and so far the backup's not been able to get much offense generated, I'm sure Coach Barron's going to let the play clock run down and call a timeout here.
A block kick is the only thing that could really hurt you here, maybe a block kick return, so maybe that's why they're not going to try the, although they may try it after this timeout. They'll talk about it a little bit.
So they do call their first timeout. We'll take a break with them. Our score with 5:53 remaining.
That's their 2nd timeout of the half.
With 5:53 remaining, Sachse 27, Skyline 13. Double stack here for the Mustangs on 4th down and 5. Let's see if they hand it off to Christian Cole. Look towards the sideline here as they are going to go for it
again,
on 4th and 5.
I think they're not doing the field goal because of something that could go wrong, like if it was blocked and returned.
They're going to send Cole out, so an empty backfield, the quick throw out to Cole. He's going to try to make Raiders miss, and he cannot do it. Nice job by the Raiders to stay in this ball game, as it's going to be a turnover on downs and the offense comes back on.
Well, they're barely in the game, but they have a little bit of a chance. They've got to score quickly, maybe an onside kick. It depends on how quickly they were to score, if they do score here. But again, some people are going to wonder why you don't try the field goal. Well, you didn't want to risk a block and a return that would really lift the Raiders and give them a freebie.
Boy, another nice tackle out here by number 29 of the Raiders, Eric Centers, and it gives their offense hope here. 5:47 remaining. They're down by 2 scores, so they've got to drive down here in a hurry. There's the snap and the wide receiver screen. Catch is made, and trying to get outside is number 2. Boy, makes a nice end cut and then taking off his feet around the 22-yard line for a gain of only about 5.
Interesting. It's kind of that tunnel screen where the wide receiver comes back toward the quarterback, and they usually kind of curve up the middle. This time he stopped and cut it back to the outside off of the block that he got, by the way, and that's why he cut it outside.
Latrell Jackson that time with the catch. And
Skyline's got to the point here where they got to start thinking about getting out of bounds whenever they can, try and save as much of this time. Because if they only needed to go the length of the field once, then they got a ton of time, but to do it twice, it's going to be a lot harder.
Well, a quiet second half so far by number 6, Jarvis Williams, as they've been unable to find him.
Yeah, 5 times in the first half. I pointed that out at halftime. 5 for a pretty good amount of yardage in that first half.
Yeah, 5 for 72 and a touchdown. And guess what? Yeah. He's stuck on 5 catches. He has not had a single catch here in the second half. And they've got to look for him here on this 3rd down and 5, you would think.
It's a huge play because you don't want to have to think about punting it here when you're down 14 with 5 minutes. They might go for it.
I was going to say, you may be in a position where you've got to go for it.
That's how big that last touchdown was to make it a 2-possession game instead of 1.
There's a snap, the handoff up the middle, and it's going nowhere. The ball's loose, as a matter of fact, still loose. The Mustangs pick it up, and they're going to have it 1st and 10 at the 10-yard line, it appears.
You see the replay. I'm not sure this is a forced fumble, but maybe it was.
You're going to send the handoff here to number 5.
Good exchange from the quarterback. Yeah, when 77 hit him, that's when it seemed to come loose. But, linemen are not big strippers of the ball. I just have a feeling the contact forced it to, get squeezed loose.
Yeah, I agree with you there 100%. And
that was 77 Tyler Lacey for Sachse.
What big play by Mr. Lacey, and the Mustangs have a 1st and 10. I guess they're just outside the 10-yard line, so they can actually pick up a 1st down inside the 1.
Tell you right now, they just want the clock to move, I would think.
Yeah, they're going to keep it on the ground here, I would bet you. Split backs in the backfield. Wilson along with Cole. They're going to hand it off to Wilson. Up the middle, guess what? Touchdown, Sachse. And that should just about do it. And I'm almost scared to say it, Scott, but we've got 4:49 remaining in the game, and you and I were talking at halftime, and I believe you made a comment to me, and you said, I wouldn't be surprised if Sachse wins this game 34-13, and guess what?
I am so glad you have a good memory.
We're an extra point away from
And I was afraid you never listened to anything I said. I did say that.
So come on, Jeffrey Pace, we need you here for the extra point.
Great cut there right after he took the handoff by Wilson.
Yes, it was. A good run by Wilson. Here is the extra point attempt. It's up. It is good, and we do have a 34-13 ball game now. The Mustangs on top. A look at Keelan Wilson there. We'll keep it here. And, Scott, I tell you what, you and I may be making a trip to Vegas after this game because the 34-13, you called it, and so far that is what we're at with 4:49 remaining.
I'd rather go by myself, but, yeah, are you paying? Again, let's remind you, it looks like Sachse's going to move on, but waiting in the wings is probably going to be the Woodlands. Maybe we could somehow look up that score as we go along and get an update. They were ahead 14-7 over Mesquite Horn at the end of the first quarter. That game started at 7:30 tonight down at the Woodlands High School.
Yeah, last check it was 28-14 at halftime, and it's now 34-14 in the 3rd quarter. So the Woodlands up by 20
Similar
in the 3rd.
game to this one, huh?
Absolutely.
Horn kind of hung in there for a while.
So the Mustangs coming back out here to kick off.
Ward has it the Woodlands does not like Baylor Stadium very much, so they're probably going to play at Waco ISD or one of those other stadiums in Waco. That's not definite. That's just kind of the preliminary discussions. Talking to some of their assistants who have been here the last 2-3 weeks scouting Sachse. They're probably here again tonight. But, yeah, you know that you're targeting an opponent when you watch them 3 weeks before you possibly even play them. They've been here the last 2-3 weeks watching Sachse.
Yes, they have. So here comes the kick from Pace. It's a high, deep kick, angled towards the sideline again. This one's going to stay in, however, and the return on by number 25. Boy, and he takes a big shot. They're still on his feet, and then finally goes down around the 26-yard line.
And Steve, in a way, it's kind of a compliment to Sachse that you're scouting them that well in advance, you know, more than anything.
Absolutely it is, and of course they are 10-0 on the season, looking to move to 11-0. More importantly, move on to the area round to face, as you said, potentially the Woodlands.
Sachse's never won a second play. They've only won one playoff game. That was the year they lost to Skyline, 2013, in the area round, and did not make the playoffs in 14. Lost in the first round last year.
That's exactly right.
Of course, it's a fairly new program at Sachse. There was a time when we just wished they'd make the playoffs, and then they started making the playoffs. Now we want more, and they got a chance to go to the second round for the second time ever.
1st and 10, and the Raiders going to have to score it here in a hurry. Boy, nice throwing around. Looky here. Number 21 down the sideline. He's at the 20-15 and then drugged out from behind by Nick Alexander. A well-designed play by the Raiders that time.
How about a tough tackle, a huge tackle from behind? If he had gone the distance, all of a sudden you got an onside kick coming, and Sachse's going to make them have to work for this touchdown if they get it. Yeah, it's a pretty big tackle, again, to run him down from behind and keep him out of the end zone. And now they may take several plays to score because of it.
Nice throw by the quarterback, Terry and Randolph that time, and the senior with a nice throw, and the Raiders not dead yet as they have a 1st and 10 at the Mustang 15. Got to get a touchdown on the board here pretty quickly. Here comes the throw, back shoulder fade, and a little too far. Boy, nice catch out there, but he is out of bounds, and that is number 6, the aforementioned Jarvis Williams, and they need to get him involved here for this final 4:04. Second down and 10 as the clock stops, of course, 4:04 remaining. There's a snap, looking to throw it. Boy, a little bit of contact there, but no penalty flags are thrown, and we may have an injured Raider down again, one of the offensive linemen.
Yeah, it looked like sailing it high might have been a good thing. That, you know, was not wide open by any means. It could have been picked off, so it's almost like he threw it away. It was so high. That lineman limping off, he just had to come off for a play, but it looks like he may be back pretty quickly. Just a slight limp.
Number 65, Fernando Gutierrez, the senior offensive lineman. 3rd down and 10 here for the Raiders. Got to get a touchdown right here to stay in this thing.
Or to even have a chance.
Snap to Randolph, looking to throw it. Here comes the pressure, the quick throw. No penalty flags. It's going to be 4th and 10. Obviously, the Raiders are going to go for it, but I tell you what, this is not good news as the backup quarterback comes up a little gingerly.
Yeah, he was hit late. Well, I don't mean late, or they might have thrown the flag, but he was hit after he threw it, holding at the back of his knee a little bit. Let's see if we can see it here.
Boy, just a big rush there, and yeah, it was number 6 with the hit, Cedric Johnson, and well, Randolph is obviously in a little bit of discomfort here as the play clock is inside of 15.
Well, I don't know who the 3rd-team quarterback is, but their starter is out of uniform on the sideline.
When you see Randolph limping quite heavily and play clock inside of 5, and they're going to have to use a timeout.
By the way, the starting quarterback, Gardner, has a boot
Skyline
on that right leg.
That's their 2nd timeout of the half.
Around the ankle, but he's got a big black boot covering most of his leg. I don't think he can come back.
Yeah, I think he is going to be out, and that's a shame. He played a good first half here for the Skyline Raiders. We'll keep it here, guys.
Isn't it interesting that their offense just seemed to move better with him in there? You know, that's when they were at their best tonight.
Absolutely. And they had, you know, good momentum there in the first half and, you know, had that 13-0 lead late in the first half. And there's a look at him. Good news for Raider fans is he is just a sophomore, so they have him for 2 more years. And what a very talented young man he is.
Remember, Jalen Maiden is just a junior for Sachse.
There's a look at the booth there you were mentioning, and hopefully he will be okay. But
did they do that because I brought it up? They are listening, aren't they, in that booth?
They might be. So 4th down and 10, and the Raiders obviously need to at least pick up the first down here, but more importantly, they need a score. There's the snap. Randolph looking to throw it. He's got some time, throws it out, and boy, right into the hands of the safety there for the Mustangs, and tackle's going to be made out around the 17-yard line, and that'll pretty much put the wrapper on this game, you would think, for the Mustangs. I think that was Isaiah Humphreys that came up with the pick.
And barring a major mistake here by Sachse, that should be it. Looked like the receiver and the quarterback not on the same page. The quarterback threw it one way, the receiver was going the other way. And Humphreys just happened to be playing center field and made the catch.
So with 3:49 on the clock for the Mustangs, you would imagine they're going to keep it on the ground here.
How about a steady diet of Christian Cole?
Yeah, I believe
Look who's coming out, though. We got substitutes.
Yes, we do. And the
interesting
new quarterback, number 10, Alex Williams, the senior.
This is really interesting because, you know, game's not definitely over.
There's a snap, and the handoff goes up the middle, number 34 for the Mustangs on the carry, Landon Anderson. He is a sophomore running back.
Maybe it's the good hands, people. I mean, maybe these are guys that they trust to carry the ball. I still would like to see Christian Cole, but it's 21-point lead, 3.5 minutes. I mean, I'm a little surprised by this.
Get those young players some playoff experience, however. So
got some receivers that are new. Maybe a whole new second team here. You just don't see it often in a playoff game in a 21-point margin, you know. I like it. It's just unusual.
Absolutely. Under 10 left on the play clock. They get the snap away, and the handoff goes to the left side. Once again, number 34 with the carry, Landon Anderson, and another nice run for the sophomore.
And the clock continuing to move, which is the key. Skyline with just 1 timeout.
And I believe the Raiders have used their final timeout here.
Timeout.
One thing we can do is
That's
continue
their third and final timeout of the half.
Review the playoffs. Now, Lakeview Centennial, who's leading 55-27, going to win there. They're going to get the John Tyler Lufkin winner. They're playing tonight at Tyler Rose Stadium. Boy, that'll be a tough matchup, whoever they play. Excuse me, that's Naaman Forest. Excuse me. They're going to get the Beaumont Westbrook or Longview winner. Another good matchup tonight. Longview 8-2. We know how good Longview is year after year, and Westbrook is 9-1. So that'll be a tough one next week for Lakeview. They're playing at the same time right now down there in Beaumont. Naaman Forest probably lost tonight. They were down. Well, yeah, it wasn't over. They were down 13-0 late second quarter, but they had no yards of offense. And their defense had kind of kept them in the game there for a half, but I expect Jesuit to win that one. Rowlett plays at Coppell tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
It's a big game for the Eagles tomorrow.
It's big for the district, you know. That's one of your bell cows, Rowlett.
3rd down and 7 as we're back from timeout. Williams going to look to keep it himself. He's got some room out here, and he's got the first down and more. Then slides down inbounds. A great play by Williams.
Let me follow up on what I just said here in kind of jump time here. You know, when you think of this Garland ISD, nowadays the first 2 teams that come to mind are Sachse and Rowlett. They're kind of your bell cows. Lakeview hadn't made the playoffs in 20 years. Until this year, you never thought about Lakeview, but obviously they're now a force, and Naaman Forest was 0 for 15 starting this season. So, you know, you always like your bell cows to go a couple of rounds, 2 or 3 rounds deep to make your district look better.
Absolutely.
If you can get a win or 2 from Lakeview, that's gravy. And they've already got a win from Lakeview.
That's right. So we're looking for at least 3, if not all 4, to advance. There's a handoff to Anderson up the middle, and he's going to gain about 4 yards down to the 40. Again, more importantly, the Raiders cannot stop the clock as we are at 2 minutes left in this one here at Williams Stadium. So a quiet first half, lackluster for the Mustangs turns into what appears to be a 21-point victory for them, unless something happens here in the final minute 45. So a good win for Coach Barron's team. You know, they came out a little flat. You know, had a little sloppy play there early on, Scott, but really overcame it with the big touchdown at the end of the first half by Nate Sheldon.
That was the key.
Yeah, and then the second half, of course, they've dominated.
Well, remember, I mentioned at the time that the defense on that final drive possession for Skyline, the defense came alive with a good rush, and it carried over to the second half.
Another handoff to Anderson. He's going to be close to the first down, but he's going to be short by about 2 yards.
Not only did the Sachse offense come alive, the defense has come alive since late in the first half, too. Let's give them credit.
Absolutely. Of course, they had that big stop coming out of the locker room at halftime, a 3 and out. Head coach, listen to me. Principal Shay Krill for the Sachse High School Mustangs. Got a Buffalo Bills helmet there, and I know exactly what that's for, and trying to shine it up, and he's ready to put it on and get in the ball game there. Williams with the quarterback keeper. That's going to be a first down. And guess what? He may go the distance. Stay in bounds, young man. Of course, they'll stop the clock momentarily to reset the chains, but a big win, or pardon me, a big run for Alex Williams.
Yeah, it looked like he might go the distance. Oh, just a beautiful read. Although this is the key here. He made that defender look really bad, just stepped around him. Alex with pretty good speed got him to the sideline.
As we tick off the final 30 seconds here of the game.
On the tackle, a lot of his body was out of bounds, but the ball hit inbounds, and that's why they started the clock back up.
Well, congratulations to the Sachse Mustangs. And let me say congratulations to the Skyline Raiders. They're going to fall a little short here tonight, but they played a heck of a game.
Yeah, nobody thought that this would be much of a game, and they were the better team for a half. For the most part.
Absolutely. But for the Mustangs, it is on to the area round. Congratulations to Coach Barron's and the Sachse Mustangs as they will win the Bi-district playoff game here at Williams Stadium. As both teams shake hands at the center of the field, it is time for us to sign off our final score. The Sachse Mustangs 34, the Skyline Raiders 13. Scott, enjoyed having you here tonight.
Steve, thanks. I enjoyed the 3 games I got to do this year, and maybe we'll get another game in. But if this is it, I really enjoyed it. Thanks for the opportunity. You know, TV is a lot more fun than radio because of those. I love those replays. Thanks to everyone with Garland, you know, for the television people, all those guys that get those great replays. That's what makes this job so much fun. The replays.
Absolutely.
And working with you would be a close second.
Well, thank you very much, Scott. For all of our GRS TV crew, we're going to sign off here. Our final score, the Sachse Mustangs 34, the Skyline Raiders 13. We'll see you next time on GRS TV.